Anti-derivative Jill.
There she is. There she is.
Greetings and felicitations. Greetings and felicitations.
Where's library?
Right over
Hello, I'm Anti-Derivative Jill, and this is Indefinite Lunch and Infinite Combinations number 103, where I am continuing a special journey through all the episodes of Star Trek the Original Series. We're watching in production order, so by now we're on All Our Yesterdays, which is the 78th episode, and that means we only have two more episodes to go, including this one. So next week will be the review of our last episode. And I know. But I'm going to want to talk about TOS again. So it's going to start coming up on Fridays after we're done here.
Sweet.
This penultimate episode presents the desperation of a dying race. And it's both charming and slightly tedious in its simplicity for me. Anyway, I think a whole lot of dialogue could be cut down to 20 minutes, and then somebody can animate it, and we can have a really cool animated series episode.
Aha.
That's not a bad idea.
I know. That's what all I could think about watching this. So if you enjoy Star Trek and science fiction in general, and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Otherwise, please like and share if you want to think more about a TOS episode in which we don't visit the ship at all. This is the only episode to do such a thing.
It's my ship. Where's the Enterprise? Yeah, it's completely absent in this one. Well, as far as the interior, being on the bridge, being the transporter room, nothing.
Yeah,
it's only the three principals, the three main characters that are presented here.
And the voice,
right.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Yes, James. Yeah, that's true, Pop. That's right.
So we know the ship is there. We just don't get to see it. But before I continue, I've got to say hello to the panel. Today we have Scotty R37. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I've eaten animal flesh and I've enjoyed it. How are you?
Well, yeah, me too, but I'm human, so that's normal. It's not normal
fine.
when a Vulcan does that. Stone Racket, how are you doing today?
I am prepared, and so are my two cats by the Tavacron, and we will journey back 1,200 years to visit my Viking ancestors, where I will drink mead and eat meat and enjoy it.
Drink mead and eating meat. Ooh. Well, that sounds fun. Just so you know, though, it's a one-way trip, even though there's a two-way door. It's weird.
Well, we have a special at Tavacron.
Oh, a special one. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we can come back and be okay.
Oh, lucky.
And we won't rapidly age away to nothing.
And also today we have Pop Culture Curator. And I'm just so happy that you're feeling better and back home. And how are you doing?
Top of the morning. Glad to be back. Thank you. Good to see you all. Hello to everyone in the chat.
Yes, that's right. We do have the people of this planet do seem to be Irish. Well, we do learn a bit about their history and just from
which
how
apparently
they
mirrors Earth very heavily.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could indulge me, Jill, if I
Sure.
kind of introduce the episode. In this galaxy, there's a mathematical probability of 3 million Earth-type planets, and in all of the universe, 3 million galaxies like this. And in all of that, and perhaps more, these planets resemble Earth's own history. Hey!
Who would have known?
Who would have known?
Even down to the witch hunts.
That's right.
Yeah, that is very true. It's actually a very common Star Trek thing where you go to a planet and hey, they look a lot like us. And so
yes, and they have the exact same. All of a sudden, Kirk is in jolly old England around the time of Charles II. It's like, what?
Oh yeah, because the episode's named after Shakespeare.
It's from Macbeth.
From Macbeth, yeah.
Yes.
So of course it's England.
And I've mentioned in the before the chat in the I keep forgetting what the back room is called, whatever it's called. But
private chat.
Private chat. But as a kid, I was kind of bored. I liked the idea of the library. I liked Mr. H. But I was kind of bored with the trope of Spock's relationship. But upon watching this, I find this one of the strongest episodes of season 3.
I love that you said that, Pop Culture Curator, because you got to watch it in real time. And so you have a memory of it from your childhood. And I think it's really neat to compare how you've matured or how you see it differently.
I never realized the tragedy of it's the tragedy of the people of the planet.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I have a reason, and I'll bring that up later when we get to that point of the episode.
And considering other things, reference to any kind of production notes I have today include Star Trek 365 that I learned from the Cloudburn Times channel. And I learned from Raquel Briggs, who reviews all of Real Star Trek with Clobby on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. And so far we're well into Voyager season. Actually, we just started Voyager season 6. And so just season 6, season 7, and we'll be on to Enterprise. And I will also make references to These Are the Voyages by Mark Cushman, because he has some great stuff there too. And even though I do have ordered slides, we can jump around all over the place, especially since this episode's so simple. I want to read the preview for this episode from the 365 book, All Our Yesterdays. The star Beta Niobe is about to go nova. When it does, Sarpedon, the only planet in the Beta Niobe system, will be destroyed. The planet is known to be the home of an advanced human civilization. Yet when the Enterprise arrives, sensors show no sign of its inhabitants. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy beam to the surface and find it deserted except for a librarian named Ataz, who explains that he has used the Atavachron, an artificial time portal, to send the residents into various eras of their own distant past. Invited by Mr. Ataz to use the Atavachron. Yeah, I could say it.
It was hard for me to say it there earlier, but Atavachron. Yeah, there I got it.
I just have to say it a few times and I'll get it. Atavachron. I'm stuck on that. To examine the different historical eras. The Enterprise trio inadvertently passes through the portal into Sarpedion's past. No, they just dash into it, even though he keeps warning them. Kirk to an era equivalent to Earth's 17th century, where strangers like him were regarded with suspicion, and Spock and McCoy into the planet's deadly ice age. Kirk's attempts to find his way back to the library leads the locals to believe he's a witch, and he's thrown in jail. In the meantime, thousands of years earlier, Spock carries a frostbitten McCoy to a cave inhabited by a beautiful exile named Zarabeth. She explains that they cannot go back to their own time because the Atavachron automatically alters their cellular structure when they pass through the portal. If they attempt to return, they'll die. And so that's a description of the episode.
Yeah, the Atavachron alters their cellular structure as well as their brain waves.
So that they're able to adapt to living in the past.
Yeah.
Apparently that is true. So their bodies are going to match whatever era they're in. It's kind of strange. We already have the oddities of time travel, which is already silly enough with the malleability of not only being able to change time, but also keeping a connection to the present, two-way connection to the present, and it also alters you physiologically. Really, really, really interesting idea. I want to say hello to the chat before we get too deep into the episode. Hello to Eugene Bird. Strong Land of the Lost vibes.
That's a good point.
And Stone Racket here says strong contrived script vibes. Yeah. Yeah, so what's this weird door? Oh, someone screamed. Better dash through it.
Better dash through it, yeah.
And the Comic Relief Crusader is pointing out the elephant in the room I have not yet addressed. Congrats, Jill, on over 1,000 subscribers. Yes, that is correct. I have no idea why the algorithm...
Yeah, it's like...
You deserve every bit of it, Jill.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Your channel's exploding.
Thank you.
Well, mine's imploding.
Oh, no.
No, we'll save it. We'll save it.
No, I'm just kidding. I have a wee bit of a humble channel, but I love it, and I especially love all of its subs.
That's what it is. It's not about numbers; it's about people. But those numbers are kind of funny.
An overnight success, only 2 years in the making.
And yeah, thank you, Gavin Blackburn. Also congratulating me on 1,000. Hello to Mr. Brown Alliance. Also says it's deserved. And hello to Penny. Great to see you, Penny. Who's saying hello to everybody.
Penny.
Hello, all of you wonderful, beautiful people in the chat.
Indeed.
Yeah. And Franco Walker and Penny also congratulated me. Holy smokes, Jill. And you recognize that about...
No, it's Hokey Smokes.
Oh, Hokey Smokes.
Yeah. Now Rocky, the flying squirrel, says Hokey Smoke, singular. I always say Hokey Smokes for some reason, but I like to say it instead of something else. But yeah, congratulations. That's incredible. They were just talking about, hey, you made 700. I'm pretty sure you'll get to 1,000. It's like, well, yeah, it happened in a couple days.
No, I know. PvP was saying you'll get to 1,000 by the 4th of July. I'm like, yeah, I'm lucky. And then Price of Reason, who is a new friend to the panels, said, nope, you're going to get it within a week. And I was laughing at him. I didn't believe him. It was sooner than that even. He was right.
Wow.
And that outfit is great for cave dwelling. I like hers too.
Hey, Gavin.
Hello, Gavin. Franco Walker already subscribed. I am part of Jill's 1,000. Mr. Brown Alliance sent me here in December, so thank you, Brown. Congratulations on hitting 800 again. I am turning on my cloaking mode and will sit back and enjoy the showtime or the show. Thank you, Keith.
Cheers, Keith.
And I'm so glad Sub Commander Tall is here. He always has such great insights. I love this episode so much. The whining wench scenes are a bit much, but apart from those, it's a classic in my book.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jill, that, you just said witch, but no. We have to, speaking of the whining witch, we have to say it, witch, they'll burn ya.
Yeah, she turned on Kirk pretty quickly.
Yeah.
She was really fond of him at the beginning. It's like, what happened there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. He
It was
saved
those
her from the crowd.
it was those spirits,
Yeah,
Pop. It was those scary
I
spirits.
guess they spooked her. Yeah, the ghosts.
Yeah, but he saved her from being spanked by a sword, and
Yes.
he gave them a taste of their own medicine. So you think she'd just like him forever, no matter how
Right,
scary the spirits are.
right.
Yes.
Ingrateful.
Yeah, speaking of the sword play, the doofus they hired, it's like was a friend of the director, and it was like, hey, you know how to fence? Oh, certainly. And he ended up cutting Shatner's hand.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, according to the Cushman book, I'm like, uh-oh. So the director was like, yeah, it was the last time I hired a friend.
Oh boy. Yeah, definitely. Well, a lot of people, they say they can do something just so they can perform, but they can't really do it.
Yeah, it's this famous, can you ride a horse? Of course.
Of course. LDG is here. Hello, LDG. Great
Hello,
to see you.
LDG. And yes, LDG, I heard you on Bird's stream. Thank you for doing that stream Saturday night. I appreciate that. I was so drugged and out of it, I was in the hospital, but I was trying to tune in and remember the best I could. But thank you. Great job.
Okay. I missed that, but okay. And hello to DJ Play Nice and Spooky Bed Hair. Rocco the Brave says, "Grats on 1,000. Onward to 1701."
We're going to see a lot of new names today, aren't we?
Wow.
Yes, I think so. I do know Rocco the Brave. I've seen him on the
Very
Epion
cool.
channel. And yes, I did mention on my Twitter that my next milestone that I'm going to care about is 1701.
Oh, 1701.
Yes, Jedi Bill. Hello, Jedi
Welcome,
Bill.
everybody.
Classic Comics. Girl is Random Thoughts says, Kapla, Jill. I'll be lurking, but I'll be making a special review video for Turnabout Intruder for you. Nice. I can't wait. I like your special reviews, Gorilla.
That's gonna be our last episode. That's gonna be.
Well, you do
sad.
know, since it is the last episode, I am starting early. If it's okay with you guys, I want to start at 10 a.m. Central for the next review.
Works for me.
Yeah, because after we review the episode, we can talk about season 3 or Star Trek as a whole or whatever we want.
A recap, a series recap.
Yeah, a bit of a recap. Yeah, and then the next week, top 10. Sub Commander Tall says, I admit the setup for the episode is implausible, but the library is such a cool idea. Kind of like C.S. Lewis's Wood Between Worlds in one of the Narnia books. Yeah, that's why it was so sad.
Oh, very nice.
When the sun went nova and everything's lost with it. All of the records. All of the history.
That's what I'm wondering. So even though they all escaped into the past, per se, when that sun went nova and it destroyed that planet, I mean, that destroyed them too, right? I mean, the library ceased to exist at that point. That's why I thought it was very tragic.
Everybody escapes into the past, but I think it's kind of poignant that Spock points out at the end and says, like, even Zarabeth is dead for 5,000 years. So they still get to live out their lives in the past, I think.
Yes. So they live their full lives. I don't know how good their lives are. How many people are just stuck out in the cold?
Well, that was specifically a prison. That was that was because Admiral Zurg or whatever decided.
Right.
Yeah, did they ever go into detail on who that was that sent her back there and exiled her?
It was a dictator. That's all we get is that he was a dictator. And let's see now, what did she say? She said something about choosing
her kin improperly.
What was that?
Choosing her kin improperly?
Yeah, choosing her kin improperly. And so we had some kind of ruthless dictator that would imprison people using the time portal to send them to desolate places all by themselves.
There was some kind of conspiracy or something that got her in trouble.
Yeah, and it was like she says that this dictator made sure she had what she needed, but it's kind of like, well,
Mhm.
uh, hope all that animal meat don't run out, and it's like,
Right.
Well, I don't know. I guess she has to kill it herself. I don't
yeah, she
That's
said
what I
she
was
had,
guessing. I guess she did the
yeah,
hunting, right?
yeah, she had the weapons or everything she needed, but and she has a vast deep freeze to keep
Yep.
the meat.
Yes, that's true.
Sci-fi. I want to say hello to Sci-Fi. Said Dan Franco
Hey, hey.
Walker says, please subscribe, share, hit the like, select live chat.
Absolutely.
Ah, gotcha.
And
Ah,
I really want to point out ahead of time, I really loved DeForest Kelly's performance in this episode.
Absolutely.
you know what? Yeah, yes. Agreed.
Yeah,
Buck has to be out of character. It's good that Bones is completely in it.
yeah, I just find all the performances stellar in this one. It's very enjoyable. Even the supporting actors,
Yeah, but
and
it's like the cast, the main cast really gave it all.
yeah,
They're
it's
all until the very end.
it's really really great. But the thing that bugs me now, take a look at Kirk there. What do you see on his hip? It's a
Phaser.
phaser. Where does the phaser go? Because when he comes back, he don't have it. It's like, uh-oh. And
It's
also,
coming.
and also, why doesn't the phaser work?
He left his
Well,
magic wand in the past.
it's because when Spock tries to heat up that boulder, it's like it doesn't work because the script demanded it. It makes no sense
Oh yeah, that's
whatsoever.
right. I thought that was going to come back when he said,
You
"Oh
know,
no, my phaser." It
because
seems fine, but it's
you
not
would think
working.
that if he was prepared, then the phaser would not work.
Well,
But since he
if he
wasn't
was
prepared, then it wouldn't affect anything. But I'm just being silly there. But it's like, what would that do with the phaser anyway?
I was thinking maybe the phaser didn't work because the technology was non-existent at the time.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
well, a lot of this doesn't make a lick of
I'm
sense.
sorry, I was just
You
trying
know,
to fill in the plot
No,
hole.
yeah. I
For
mean,
you.
no,
we have
I
to
like it. I like
we
it.
have to
I'm
do our
laughing.
own head canon or
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
whatever.
laughing about. Is
make
that
it make sense.
you
Yeah,
have to headcanon it, but sometimes the
yeah,
headcanon is done out of love. But
yeah.
it's still
Oh
funny to me.
yeah, I agree because even though there are so many contrivances in this script, it is so enjoyable and so enthralling and so well done in other areas that it's number 2 on my top 10 third season Star Trek list.
Nice.
So it's
Wow,
yeah,
that's high up
I've
there for
always
you.
liked this.
Very cool.
I've always liked this episode. This is
Nice.
one of the few that I got to see when it originally aired, and
Oh,
I just remember my older sister was really intrigued with what happens with Spock. She was really into that,
mhm.
and the intensity of DeForest Kelly's McCoy. It was just, we were riveted. I mean, but
And that's very important to remember when I'm criticizing episodes like this. I didn't get to watch it when I was a little kid, or watching it when I was growing up, and so I really appreciate that perspective on how good it was for you when you
yeah, I've
first saw it.
always, I've always enjoyed this, and I've seen it so many times when it was in syndication.
Mhm.
It seemed to be a favorite of my mother's and like I said, my older sister. They always enjoyed watching this particular episode.
Okay, so I have to thank Mad G for gifting one membership, and that membership
Oh,
went to Franco Walker, who is
Oh, Franco
yeah,
Walker.
amazing.
Maggie. Thank you, sir. Very kind
Yeah,
of you.
that's awesome.
It is awesome because Franco Walker does such a great job
Yeah, it's like
handling the wrench on this channel.
it's an
I'm glad
awesome.
Stream Elements is working today. Hopefully it'll work for me
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh yeah, it's working right here. See, sub to Dadman Walking, good guy. And thank you so much to Big Daddy and Mariah. He sends a 1999 super sticker. What is that of? I don't have the other chat pulled up.
It is. It says you are amazing.
It's a
And
picture.
It looks like a little purple pear doing a tap dance for
Bird.
all of the successes.
Yeah.
You are amazing. You
are
Big
amazing,
Daddy
Jill.
Emery. All right, but he also sends a membership chat. Remember, he's been a member, or either that, or YouTube's just telling me Big Daddy MRI has been a member for 5 months. Thank you.
Wicked.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh my goodness, Jill has subsumed us all.
Subsumed us all. She is absorbing. You're absorbing us, Jill.
I am absorbing.
You have been absorbed. Oh,
Resistance is adorable.
This sounds familiar. You have been absorbed.
Oh
Are you of the body?
Landrew. Oh, wait a minute. What? No. You're not of the body.
Well, we'll find out who's not of the body and deal with it later. Gavin Blackburn says, why wouldn't a Serpadian go back in time and warn them about the Nova and tell the past governments to move off the world? You know what? Yes.
Yeah, well, Gavin, let me tell you, Sarpedon don't have space travel. Another script contrivance.
That's what it is. They're so extremely advanced. They can do these amazing time travel thingies. Go back in time, say, hey, learn how to get off this planet.
Yeah.
It's going to go Nova. Gavin is completely right. And you're completely right. It's script contrivance, but you learn to enjoy the episode anyways.
Yeah, it's a wonderful ride.
Franco says they took off the phaser when he was arrested.
Yeah, I know. Where'd it go? We got to get it back.
And Crash Bandit Smokey says, hey, I found you through Appion. Congrats on 1,000. Thank you so much, Crash Bandit Smokey.
Nice.
May
I ask, I'm out of ignorance, what's Appion?
Appion, he's a YouTuber, and he does a lot of really cool gaming streams, but also he does movie reviews to watch parties.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yes, I was on there one time talking about The Shawshank Redemption because I really love that movie. I know there's some other opinions here, but it was a good time.
What movie was that?
We are talking.
Yeah, you covered that just a few weeks ago.
We're talking about
Star Trek.
Star Trek. All Our Yesterdays first aired on Pi Day, March 14th, 1969, which
it was also my little sister's 5th birthday.
Oh, very cool. Wow, your sister has a cool birthday. And so the title comes from Shakespeare's Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 5, line 22. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle.
Life is but a walking shadow. And that's about all I remember. I just remember it's a tale told by an idiot signifying nothing. That's just about all I remember. But it's the out brief candle speech.
Something about what life is worth.
Yeah. It's like go ahead.
It's the teleplay is by Jean Lizette Arusette.
There's so many hard things to pronounce today.
I know. It was directed by Marvin Chomsky, who was this was his 3rd episode for Star Trek.
Yeah, he directed one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I know. And the children's the lead. And the Day of the Dove.
Day of the Dove, that is one of my favorites, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. That actually is a good one. So his directing is all right. I don't blame him for And the Children Shall Lead.
It comments in the Cushman book that his 3rd go around, he worked the best with the cast. He had learned, and it's obvious because all the performances. I mean, they're just impeccable.
Well, and it's just lucky if a director works really well with the cast, because that wasn't a priority for Freddie Freiberger. He only cared if they stayed under budget and under schedule.
Yeah, we can thank Freiberger Freiberger for the change of the episode title.
Oh, what was it before?
Let's see. It was called. Let me look at the book.
Don't go through that door.
Well, why
Yeah.
you find?
Don't pick door number 3. It was called A Handful of Dust.
Oh.
Oh.
And then she had been working on a script she entitled The Foreseeable Future, but that wasn't working out. And she came up with this idea because the author of the teleplay, whose name I won't try to pronounce here but she was a librarian herself. And of course, Mr. Atos.
Yes, that's right.
A to Z, get it?
Yes, I do get it. Well, it's a pretty cool name for a librarian.
Yeah.
We've got it all, A to Z. Any era that you wish, but not recent history. We don't really need recent history because we don't want to get too close to the time that the nova goes off.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense too.
Yeah. And okay, so the captain's log says, wait, who wants to read the captain's log?
I'll read it.
All right. Okay. You got it. I actually want to read this one.
Captain's log, stardate 5943.7. We have calculated that Beta Niobe will go nova in approximately 3.5 hours. There's that countdown again, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
We have calculated that Beta Niobe will go nova in approximately 3.5 hours. Its only satellite, Sarpedon, is a Class M planet, which at last report was inhabited by a civilized humanoid species. Now our instruments show that no intelligent life remains on the planet.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that there are several novas that explode in season 3, like in the Empath and other episodes. It's a thing in season 3 that happens.
And unfortunately, as a kid, I didn't buy it because of my older brother's astronomy book, which showed the stages that a star goes through. And Sarpedon would have been burnt to a crisp because of the stages that a sun goes through before it actually explodes.
Right, that's right, because it's supposed to get to be a big red giant.
And the thing is that it maybe, depending on, gosh, I'm pretty sure that when a sun is in those stages, that it's going to absorb whatever inner planets there are.
That's right. Yes, and even
that's
our
what
sun,
ruined. Yeah, that's what. Go ahead.
Our sun's not going to go nova, but it will very likely eat up all of its rocky planets in the end.
Yeah, when they had a Night Gallery episode, it's called "The Boy Who Predicted Earthquakes." It was like, yeah, you have to buy into that. The sun doesn't change at all. Everything's going to be peachy keen, and then when it goes nova, boom, that's it. It's like, well, no, my older brother's astronomy book told me different.
Yeah, but I guess maybe they didn't have time. Did the Cushman book say that they sent this to the research center, or was there any kind of science?
The only thing it comments on the research center is originally the author of the teleplay. Is it Lisette? Is that her first name?
Yeah, that's her middle name, Jean.
Okay.
Her name is Jean.
Jean's idea, she said Charles the First. It's like in an era of Charles the First, and they were like, no, it'd be more like Charles the Second. So that was the only thing that they commented as far as DeForest research.
Mm.
But one thing I wanted to read, with involving Mr. Atos and his sudden line of course I know, to Spock. At the start of Act 1, there seems to be some dialogue missing. Spock says to Atos, "It is my fault, sir. I must have miscalculated. Somehow the ship's sensors indicate there was no one here at all." Then oddly, Atos responds to this by saying, "Of course I know. Everyone on this planet was warned of the coming nova long ago." One might wonder what Atos means when he says, "Of course I know." The missing lines filmed, yet edited out when the episode ran long, had Atoz respond to Spock's line about the ship's sensors indicating no one was on the planet by saying, "In a very few hours, you would have been absolutely correct. You three would have perished, and most painfully, may I warn you. You arrived just in time." McCoy spoke next, saying, "Then you know what's going to happen?" And only then did Atoz say, "Of course I know."
Okay, that does make more sense.
Yeah, because it's like, why is he snapping at Spock?
Oh, thank you. That I don't know how they cut that out, or at least cut out the line where he's doing that.
I wanted to ask the panel now the Atavachron. It looks oddly familiar. Can you guys tell me where I've seen it before?
I would say it's slowly modified Gary Sevens.
Yes, Assignment Earth. That's right.
Now, Jill, none of us here have any time for Beta 5 snobbery. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's like Gary Sevens computer.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ian. Okay, so Ian Wolfe plays Mr. Atoz. He was 72, and he was in a Star Trek episode already. He was in
Bread and Circuses, and he has maybe I can. Shall I read what he says about working with Shatner? Or do you want to move on?
Wait, but before you do, I'll just say what Chomsky said. Chomsky, as a director, says that he was an absolute sweetheart. That was an actor who was so comfortable in what he was doing that I let him do whatever he wanted. He surprised me. Actually, he amazed me. And so that's what the director thinks of Ian Wolfe. What does Ian Wolfe think of William Shatner?
It says here in the Cushman book, Ian Wolfe appreciated the support and the friendliness of the Star Trek regulars. He said, "Bill Shatner was such a help to me on that one. He's very clever at physical things. He prides himself on doing stunts and physical work. He told me how to grapple because he had to fight with Atoz. He said, 'Now you grab here and I'll grab you there.' He must have known a couple of times to be easy on me, as I am slender and usually older than the people I work with. Bill knew just how to do everything. Even the director didn't know how to do it. Bill just took over that scene and had it all worked out."
That's almost identical to his interview in Starlog.
Oh, really well, good. Hey, I bet you he might have pulled that from that. Because he doesn't say that this is his own. Well, of course, unfortunately, I think Ian Wolfe would have been long gone. So yeah, this is probably directly from Starlog, because he does do that. Cushman does pull from other sources, and especially Starlog.
It's nice to hear a good story involving William Shatner, and so that confirms that Ian Wolfe is a sweetheart. And so they're all looking at these discs they just think, oh, look, we can look into the past with these discs. And Captain Kirk is completely charmed by it.
Yeah, now look at the viewer that he has.
Mm-hmm.
That is a serious piece of instrumentation. And doggone it, it is linked to the portal. Not that mamby-pamby one that's by the archives.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's right. Like, yes. It's like, no, wait a minute. If Kirk goes through and that is on the viewer and he goes to that time, then McCoy and Spock would go to the same time period.
That's right. So they shouldn't have ended up in, so they should not have ended up in the Ice Age.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, McCoy touched that disc. And so when he went through and Spock went through at the same time, it's because he touched the disc, and then he went through the portal and he went to the Arctic world. Mm-hmm. Or the Arctic period. So it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, right. Just because McCoy was that's what he was looking at. That's where he goes.
But you'd think that, well, look at how serious this viewer. It's on a main desk. and to jump ahead, when Ataz, speaking of jumping, goes through the portal for his escape, where does he put his disc? He puts it on the same reader here, and he can instantly go back to join his family. Because
Right.
he had the right disc ready to go. He puts it on that same viewer, and boom, goes through the portal. And it's like, okay, so, but anyway.
Well, I want to read something from the 365 book about these discs.
Cool.
We're talking about them. The files in Mr. Ataz's library appear to be early versions of CDs or DVDs, shiny discs that, when inserted into a machine, display the recorded information encoded onto them. The similar appearance makes it fun to speculate whether these props from all our yesterdays may have influenced the CD's inventors. The speculation, however, proves unfounded. The man behind the real discs was American physicist, inventor, and music lover James T. Russell, who was irked by the inevitable scratches that threatened his collection of vinyl records. Russell hoped to find a sturdier medium for storing music, and his employer, Battelle Memorial Institute, supported his search for a digital solution. Russell soon realized that representing the binary 0 and 1 with tiny bits of dark and light would allow a laser device to read sounds or any information without damaging the source. By making the binary code extremely compact, he managed to fit large amounts of data, digital data, music, onto a compact disc. Russell stated his research in 1965, well before All Our Yesterdays aired on March 14th, 1969, although his digital to optical recording and playback system was not patented until 1970.
Wow.
Interesting idea.
I was hoping that he, deep in his mind, he was inspired by this episode, but like you said, it all starts in 65. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't line up. The chronology doesn't line up.
It's still a cool technology, though, in this episode.
It really is. Just thinking about that technology just makes you realize how interesting of a little invention it was to think of it for this episode. James Caserta says, according to God, nothing has to happen as it should. Okay. But it's great to see you, James Caserta. The Reluctant Dragon says, Sevens. Bob.
It's Gary Sevens, Barbara Babcock-Contron. Barbara Babcock did the voice of the Beta 5
Barbara
computer.
Babcock.
Oh, yeah. So it's Barbara Babcock. No, I can't say it. Barbara Babcock-Contron.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to mention that the thing that I was disappointed about when I saw the computer was that we don't get her voice.
Yeah.
I did like the alternate voice for the Gary 7 computer.
Yeah.
And
that Reluctant Dragon, that's a laugh riot. That's comedy gold right there.
Xandar86 says, Landrew, be praised. And
it's just a computer.
60 people are watching. I know. I'm trying to pretend it's 6. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. I'm just so happy you guys are here. James T. Russell, coincidence.
What was that? Could you that comment that before this?
This one?
No, before that.
Reluctant.
Oh, no. It was a reference to this one is a reference to this island Earth.
Oh, this machine is not as good as
the Metaluden Interocitor. Thank you, Pop.
That was the triangular device. And the other reference in this episode is when Kirk says, I'm from an island. And he said, which island? And he said, Earth.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Interocitor, yes.
Interocitor.
Booker says out of town for a work conference, just popped on quickly to like and comment. Thank you so much. Got to get back to class. What was the tyrant's name?
Yeah. It was
Zor.
Yeah, Scotty said something with a Z, and I think it is a name with a Z. It's like,
yes, it's Zorkon.
Zorkon. Yeah.
That's right. Zorkon is the
Can we
name
just
of the
say
tyrant.
Zorg?
But the problem is we never get to see him or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't really care that much about him.
Well, he's a meanie, whoever he was.
Yeah, he was a meanie to leave the lady all alone. How rude.
Well, her family did try and kill him.
Yeah. All right, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I guess that would be kind of a.
But he was the tyrant. Spock does say, yes, I remember reading it. He was a tyrant.
So everybody was having such a relaxing time at the library when Kirk
until
and here's a woman screaming from behind the doorway. And so without questioning or doing any of the normal, hey, what's going on? Let's do things and think about it and think before we do things.
Yeah.
Kirk just runs through the doorway and disappears.
Wait, I haven't prepared you.
You must be prepared.
I do like the effect of the portal door.
Yeah, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I agree. Those gnarly chains. I love those big gnarly chains. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice set design.
It's the old backlot.
Well, I can understand how Kirk was too late to listen to the librarian, but why would Spock and Bones also ignore his warning that they need to prepare? Wouldn't Spock say prepare? Prepare for what?
Yeah, just don't question, Jill. Just consume product.
Oh, okay. So let's get back to spanking people with swords then.
Okay.
And for, like you mentioned, the disc wasn't on the proper reader, so McCoy and Spock shouldn't be in Iceland.
They should be there, and the three of them would make mincemeat out of these guys.
Right? Well, okay, maybe that's why. Because
and then Spock would go, "We must go through. There's some kind of portal. Let's find it." And then, then there would be no episode.
Well, but and I know that we're throwing around the word contrivance a lot, but they show up, get completely confused by the three images of the same man, hear a scream, go through what looks like a completely innocuous door, and then with the disc readers, I'm okay with that. That the last thing you looked at is the place that you're going to go, simply because we're also dealing with the Avacron, a Tavacron, that is going to genetically modify your cells and your brain waves so that you can better be suited to the time that you're going to. There is a certain level of magic that's going on, but it all fits for me. Without even trying to figure out a headcanon for it, it's still okay, they use this, the portal and the readers are connected, and then the Atavacron is the thing that prepares you. So separate machines to fulfill the same purpose, or fulfill one purpose.
Yeah, but what's even the point? Why do you have to physiologically tie yourself to the time in which you're traveling to? It's not a thing that never happens in any other time travel way. It's just a way to. The only reason they do it, I think, is so that the lady at the end can't go back, can't go on the Enterprise.
That's exactly right.
Well, and it shows the importance of having your physiology changed for the time period be based on how Spock reacts. Otherwise, it's just going to be Spock and McCoy being completely normal and solving a problem rationally, but without the preparation in the library, you will succumb to the different aspects or the fabric of time. You are going to have a bad time. And even the judge says, well, you haven't been prepared. You're going to die. You can't survive here. So there are reasons.
And that's the rules in this episode, but I think they're kind of weird.
Of course they're weird.
Yeah.
Third season episode of Star Trek.
And we're talking about Zarabeth from the Cushman book. Arthur Singer took his turn with the script, addressing NBC's notes. His version was very much like the one to be filmed, except the life-altering aspect of the Atavacron. still had not been introduced. Zarabeth's sole reason for not returning to the future was still a fear of rapid aging.
Huh.
And Freiberger took care of this change with a script polish identified as revised final draft from December 17th. So we can thank Fred Freiberger for the...
Or for cutting things that make the episode make more sense. Yes. Thank you, Freddie.
But it's like, okay, she can't return. Definitely. She will definitely die because of the Atavachron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't she just be unprepared? I don't know. Burger 414 says, I always liked the trial judge in this episode.
Yeah, and his name is Kermit.
And Franco Walker wants to clip something I've said. That's great. Why is there mini ATOS? Oh, right, because he's made clones because he's the only person left, so he wanted some help. So he cloned himself a bunch of times.
No, I think when everything was peachy keen on Sarpedon, he just needed more help when the library was open for patrons, and just helped them out, and so he didn't have to be doing all the work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Well, that's what he says. That's why he has duplicates.
I mean, it could have been, during the, when they were aware that they had to do something because of the supernova. He could have made
maybe
them
when they were much busier and there was a lot of people going into the library.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say hello to Real Wade Nation Gaming Live. Really great to see you here today. Can't stay, but wanted to say hi.
Hello there.
Hey.
The clones were to take care of menial tasks, while the real Mr. ATOS sent the population back in time.
Going back in time. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I was going to...
well, that's what I was thinking too. I don't know why this song is stuck in my head.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Yeah. There we go. And so Kirk sees a lady in trouble, so he steps up to the plate and takes care of these bozos.
Yeah.
Which?
Who's laughing now? Huh?
I respect Jim's daring do to come to the aid of a lady, but that was the wrong lady to come to the aid of.
he couldn't have known that. He just saw somebody in trouble, and so he helped.
Yeah,
but even though she was guilty of a crime, she was a thief. It's still not the right way to treat somebody. That's cruel and unusual punishment. What the heck?
Oh no, it's ancient police brutality.
Yes. No, and I was so excited at this scene because I thought, yes, we haven't seen somebody heat a boulder for heat in a long time. And I was ready to see that rock glowing all red and all that. And we didn't get it.
Well, and I was disappointed too. I was like, oh, I don't remember this part. But when he goes through and his phaser isn't working, that is also fine for me. I figured that there is something like when you go through the portal, it's going to disable any modern technologies as you travel into the past. Like sort of what Pop said.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I guess so. I guess that's the wacky rules of time travel in this episode. You go back in time, you revert to the time period. If you're not prepared, it's going to F you up.
But Scotty, you forget.
Technology too?
You forget what bit of technology did work. It was the medical tricorder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There we go.
That contradicts that completely.
That's true. So that throws my theory out the window. I apologize.
It's sure. No, you don't have to apologize. It's absolutely. We would have gotten to that eventually.
Let's just go. Scotty and Pop are correct when it concerns weaponry.
Just for weapons. Okay, this is getting too much.
Yeah. This is too complicated. If it's I appreciate your grace, sir.
There's a point where you love Star Trek a bunch, but oh come on, what we have here is somebody who kind of wrote a kind of interesting script, but then Arthur Singer and Freddie Freiberger got their hands on it.
Thank you, Freddie.
Please explain what gull means in this context. It's like, gull? What?
Gull? Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of ignore a lot of things she's saying. And
Yeah.
he's
That
ignoring a
gull
lot of
caught
things
me
she's
cutting
saying,
his
too.
purse. Okay. Yeah, I understand what she means by cutting his purse, but he's a gull? What?
Okay.
I guess that's
Well,
slang from back in Charles I's time. And of course, it's so convenient that Sarpedon has a Charles I type, history.
The Reluctant Dragon says I always took the doubles to be androids, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another place where you can think too hard about the story. I was wondering androids too,
Yeah.
only because some of the duplicates were speaking a little more stiltedly and a little less naturally. And
But
so,
they were so much more polite than the real Mr. Atos.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're late.
You're late.
Well, it's time to get ready. Have fun, Jill. Yeah, you too. Go have fun. That's what we're
See you,
here
Comic
for.
Relief Crusader.
See you later. Have a good one. And Franco Walker will watch it tomorrow. Yes, watch all of our creators. Larry. Hey. Hi, Jill and panel.
It's Moose
Larry,
and
Larry.
Squirrel.
Hello there, Larry.
Oh, the Reluctant Dragon is a history expert. Gull used to
Ah.
mean someone who is easily tricked or cheated,
Yeah.
as in gullible.
The Reluctant Dragon to the rescue. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
That is most logical.
I was waiting for a Ducat joke, but never mind.
I made one.
I missed it.
earlier. I said Cardassian,
Oh, there we go.
but I guess nobody heard it.
Where's library? Please play it.
Okay. Sometimes things I say go missing. But yes. Yes, Kirk is telling her, well, let's go to the library.
I mean, that where's library? I will be riding on the bus. And on the way home, I do go by the public library. And there is a bus stop in front of the public library on that street. And when the intercom says library, every time I go in my head, library, where's library? It's like, oh, it's ingrained into my skull. It's like, oh,
Where's library?
Right over
She doesn't seem
library?
like much of a reader.
Yeah, it's like, you got that right.
No, that's why the other lady in this episode's more fun, because she
Yeah.
is a reader. And
Well, it's Marion
there's no
Hartley.
more
I mean,
library.
hey,
But before we get to Marion Hartley, this lady, she doesn't even have a name. She's in the
the
I guess
script she's just called Wench.
Yeah, in the script she's just called Wench. Wench is played by Anna Karen, and she's the one who tells Kirk they'll burn you.
They'll burn you. Yeah, according to the Cushman book, she and Shatner had worked before.
And
the
Quaker Girl.
Yeah, I was just getting to that. The Quaker Girl episode of Gunsmoke, which was done. It was aired in '66, so it was something that they did right before Shatner started filming the Star Trek itself.
And this is the part where Captain Kirk and Spock realize they can hear each other from the other side of wherever they are in time. What? Why?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, the thing is to go with what Scotty was saying.
They're both at the doorway.
The discs.
Doorway.
Yeah, the discs are in their, where they can be read. They're both tied in simultaneously. And there we go. That's that's my explanation.
Yeah, and I guess the only real one is the doorway's always open, and so
Yeah.
if there's two different timelines, they can all communicate at the doorway. But the only problem with that is if you had somebody else next to the doorway, and like how many people on this planet were saved? If there's a likelihood that you might hear somebody else too. Like maybe it would have been cool if there was like cacophony of noise that you couldn't even understand, Spock, because
Yeah, the
you
thing
can't
with
even
the
talk to 'em
portal,
because a
how
lot of
does
people
this
are yelling at the door.
how's this for a theory, everybody? Only the people sent back can go through the portal. It will not work for the people of the time. How's that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
So he could not bring the wench with him to the
But
library.
it'd be better if they said it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
There's a
it's
lot of
just
things. Go ahead.
it's interesting with all three of our heroes. Every time they're like, we got to get back to the library and you have to come with me. It's like, why are you recruiting people to go back to the library? You don't need them.
Yeah, why? Yeah, it's a good question.
Like
Of
he
course,
does. Kirk says that to the wench, and then he says it to the prosecutor. And Kirk and McCoy are like, Zarabeth, absolutely. You should come with us. Why? Well, in that case, I guess with Zarabeth, it makes sense because it's a desolate frozen
Because she's
waste.
all alone.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
that
cruel,
makes
unusual punishment, but yeah.
Oh, James
And
Caserta's got to go.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. Oh, see you
Take
later,
care,
James.
James Caserta.
Thank you so
James-
much for hanging out as long as you could.
James
Yeah, have a good
Caserta.
one.
James Caserta, are you prepared?
I hope he's prepared.
Hope he's prepared.
Bye. See you later.
See you later, James.
I have uncontrolled response every time I passed the freeway exit for Willie's. Wait, what? To be gold is to be cheated.
Yep.
Library and library. What is library?
Right. I was waiting for somebody to do that. What is library? Right this way through this portal that you can't see.
Like
Franco Walker says he has the look of a well-worn Dr. Crusher.
it's true.
Yeah, Franco, I do agree there. That's very funny.
She needs it. I can't.
I say she aged better. At least she doesn't have the botched plastic surgery.
That's true.
I like Gates McFadden.
Me too.
Hello to Mikey Sue's 4.
Mikey.
Okay, so Spock says opening time portals to the past. You cross into the period. You are viewing. So it's not so we want to say that particular machine was hooked up to the door. But Spock is saying whatever disc you're looking at, which makes less sense. What having it tied to the machine makes more sense. Whatever.
Yeah, that's one heck of a machine because it can. Yeah, but anyway, that's let's not dwell on that.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
got
we already talked
cerebral.
about it.
It's got cerebral Wi-Fi.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cerebral Wi-Fi.
Stop his mouth and they'll quiet. Oh, okay. They're afraid of the Spock and McCoy
spirits.
talking on the other side. Yeah.
He called one of them bones.
Well, I enjoy the idea that the superstition of these people in the past is based on the fact that there is a portal from the future that is depositing future people in their current time, and they don't know how to explain it. They don't know what it is, so it might as well be ghosts. Anyway,
Yeah,
shout out to
no, okay.
Brian.
Yes, technically that does make sense. If they're from the past and they don't know it's a time travel device. Obviously, if they hear random voices coming from nowhere, they're going to think, "Oh, go."
But Captain Kirk said, "No, they're my friends."
But even
so
then,
you're
the
friends with the
prosecutor.
spirits.
What was that,
Even
Scotty?
the prosecutor he is from the future,
Yeah,
who goes
right.
back because he knows about the library. He's there and he's propagating the entire superstition. It's like, there are witches. There
Yeah.
are.
Well, he had to do that because
He's a witch.
he would have been accused, because Kirk was threatening him, and
Yes.
it was well. I might be getting a little ahead of myself there, but that
It's
particular
okay.
scene, particular scene, he had to basically. He's like, "I'm of this time period. See, I'm saying what you
totally
guys are
am.
afraid of. Witches.
No,
There are
I like
witches."
I like the fact that we get to see some other people who went back to the past to get away from the Nova.
Yeah, I
and it
love
isn't
his
just
the
it isn't just
prosecutor's
Sarah.
reaction to when Kirk says library. Just it's like Kirk knew. Hey, you're from the future too.
He
It
did.
makes sense that since he's from the future, he put himself in a position of power.
Yes.
But
Yep.
there was kind of a comical moment when Kirk first says the library to the prosecutor, and it just looked like a cartoon surprise face. to
Zoinks.
me. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the only one who saw that.
But
Yeah.
it was
that
the
pretty
best.
cool.
It was the best real life cartoon surprise face you've ever seen, right, Jill?
Yes. Yeah. Not Brian says, congratulations on the 1,000 subs, Jill and panel. Well deserved.
Yeah,
Thank you.
indeed.
The Reluctant Dragon says, I've always found Gates McFadden attractive. Dancer physique is hard to beat. Also see Yvonne Craig. Nice.
Well, speaking of Yvonne Craig, no.
Larry says, 1,000 subs. Congratulations, Jill. Sooner the better. Yeah, it just happened all at once.
That was your
It's
cue to play
outrageous.
that clip, but I guess not. That's okay. On with the chat.
Keithy says, did the 69th disc machine create the disco of the 70s?
I highly doubt that.
Oh, you know how sometimes there's like those Discovery Channel shows that they talk about all the technologies that Star Trek sort of foreshadowed or predicted. What if those metal discs? What if those are like the original like DVD or CD?
Combat disc.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier, and it was in the 365 book. We talked about how
nice.
It questioned maybe it would be nice if it was the inspiration for the CD, but it was invented before this episode, so it wasn't the chronology there doesn't quite add up, but it's still great minds think alike, and so I like it.
Could you put Larry's comment up again?
Sure.
He says if she about the witch.
She turned me into a newt.
Oh no! Oh, I was gonna.
Okay.
Larry stole it. See, his previous comment says if she floats, she's a witch or something like. Yeah, if it floats, she's a witch. And I was gonna go. She turned me into a newt. I got better.
Right. I was gonna say Monty Python on the Holy Grail.
Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But yeah, Larry beat me to it.
Nice.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, this particular scene I really like. I enjoy this. It's just for we're getting to the end of Star Trek, and I like character moments, friendship moments between Spock and McCoy. McCoy's trying to tell Spock to just leave him there.
We go together or not at all. Don't be a fool.
I love it because we see that again in Star Trek 6. Bones and Kirk.
Yeah.
Pop culture curator, you seem a little far away from the mic. I don't know if that's the case for anybody else.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, you sound better now, I think. It seemed like you were far.
Oh, I apologize for that.
Yeah, you sound better now. Yeah, so he's frostbitten.
Well, and I do want to sort of point out the attention to detail on the makeup on Spock too. Like they got McCoy pretty frostbitten there, but I like how as you would be. He's got like a flushed red face for Bones, and it is flushed green on Spock as well. I thought that was a nice little touch that maintains the consistency of Vulcan physiology.
Yeah, that's something that's good to see for sure.
But poor
And
Dr.
so
McCoy, he's
that does tell you that
really frostbitten.
so even though we don't have the writers still there, we do still have the costume designers and stuff like that.
Well, not only that,
what
but
Spock's supposed to look like.
well, and Leonard Nimoy has always been just a great guardian for that character and protecting it at every turn. And so if they did come over with a little bit of red, he would have been like, "Oi, get out of here. My blood's green."
Yeah, he would. He would absolutely. Well, he had a problem. He with this episode, he's like, I wouldn't kiss all over this girl like this. What's going on here? And then Fred was like, well, you're reverting to your
yeah. Can I read that part?
You're a caveman now. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. This is from Fred Freiberger. He said, I remember that when Leonard Nimoy read that script, he came to me and said, I am a Vulcan. How can I be passionately in love with a woman with emotion involved? So I said, this is way back in time, before the Vulcans had evolved into a non-emotional society. He accepted that, for which I was very grateful. And then this explanation would be added to the next script draft.
Yeah, so he's setting a time that 5,000 years ago on Vulcan.
Yeah.
Vulcans were.
But I have to read this part again, or read this part. Good old Gene Messerschmidt of Broadcast Standards and Practices gave written notes. So she wrote, "Please delete the word idiot in Atos's speech and replace it with a word not associated with the mentally ill."
Wow.
And then please make certain there are no familiarities such as the open mouth kiss, which would embarrass the viewer during the Spock Zarepeth romantic interlude. Oh, that open mouth kiss is verboten.
Did they? They didn't open mouth kiss.
Well, and they didn't get away with the belt.
Yeah,
they didn't get away with the
they were so paranoid of the open mouth kiss, the underside of a woman's breast, and a woman's navel. They were just so they just focus on that all the time, and it's just hilarious.
No belly button allowed in this episode.
And I'm like, where's Sarah Beth's belly button? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not go down that road.
Well, Zarabeth is currently wearing a full-length fur coat.
Yeah. And when that drops, she says, Spock, may I have your attention, please? Not really, but that makes me laugh every time. What was that?
I like the cave.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they got an Emmy nomination for set design for this episode.
That makes sense. And so Spock again has to practice his bedside manner, like he did in.
It is agreeably warm here. Things are heating up. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. She's pushed back her hood to reveal.
Hello there.
Yeah. Hello there. Zorkon. Oh.
This is the place Zorkon sends people when he wants them to disappear, like that
It's
place
like,
also
did
in
they
Russia.
have to spell it like Khan, Nui, and Sing? It's like, I thought it was all one word. I guess not.
Oh, Jill's on the transcript.
Okay.
Sometimes the subtitles betray.
Well, I'll just talk about Zarabeth. She's played by Mariette Hartley. And she won a BAFTA award in 1963.
She went on to do lots and lots of commercials with James Garner.
Yeah, could you? I have a screen share, Jill.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah,
Tell us
she
about
did.
that.
camera.
Yeah, she did commercials with James Garner in the mid '70s for the Polaroid one-step camera, and this caused some problems because people thought that they were married in real life.
Yeah, because they did the commercials over
and
several
they did
years.
so they were these commercials were very, very popular, and people thought that they were married in real life, so it forced Marriott Hartley to do this.
That is amazing.
I am not Mrs. James Garner.
Sorry.
And then the baby, I'm not James Garner's baby. My father's name is Patrick, says the other boy's t-shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you made things clear for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Let's bring back what's going on. Okay, so let's bring back the
I
slide.
want to mention also approximately about 10 years after Star Trek, she also became famous because she was in an excellent two-parter of The Incredible Hulk.
Oh,
where
was she?
David Banner's character married her, but she died tragically. It was a really good double episode.
And
if any of you old guys remember.
One thing I also wanted to add about Marriott Hartley is in '73, she starred in a pilot written by Gene Roddenberry called Genesis 2.
Genesis 2.
In which her character, since she wasn't able to show her navel in this episode.
Here we go. Yes.
Her character had 2 navels.
2 navels.
Yeah.
Oh, to make up for this episode.
You bet.
That's right.
Why did she have 2? Was she an alien?
It was she was from the future.
Right. It was a rub because he wanted to because of the no navel policy in the 60s. When he was able to show a navel, he wanted to really rub it in, so that's why he showed the character with 2.
That's so funny.
See, where's your character from? An island. And he said, which island's called Earth? So another reference to this island, Earth.
Interesting. Well, Marriott was also on an episode of The Twilight Zone called The Long Morrow.
Yeah, with Robert Lansing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Marriott was in those commercials with James Garner. She did eventually show up on the Rockford Files with James Garner.
I still need to see that. I've heard people enjoy that they like that show.
That's one of the best written shows from the 70s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I wanted to read a few messages we got from the chat. Mikey says she always played exasperated characters with angry men and known by her distinctive freckles. Penny. 2 times Larry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cute. And Mikey says, glad to have you back, Pop. Of course.
Thank you.
Brogu says, hello, everyone. Hello, Anti-Derivative Jill. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. This is only the beginning. You have such an awesome channel. I love you, Jill. Yeah, love you right back.
Aw.
Yeah. The Reluctant Dragon says, it was semi-scandalous when Marriott Hartley showed her belly buttons in Earth 2. Oh, yeah, that's just what you guys mentioned.
Genesis 2.
And Genesis 2.
Yeah, Genesis 2. Yeah. It wasn't so scandalous in '73, but, I guess, the censors didn't have a problem with it because she pops in there 2 navels and there's a close-up of them. So it's like.
Oh, and Gap After Dark stopped by to congratulate me. Thank you so much, Gap.
Gap, I love your avatar. But then again, I love cats.
Yes, he's got a cat. That's right, Genesis 2, not Earth 2. The explanation was that her character was a mutant.
No, Jill. Since we're talking about this island Earth, it's not mutant, it's mutant. Like pronounce it in that movie.
Oh, okay.
No,
Like
that's
how?
neither.
Well, no,
neither
it's okay. It's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
just
That
being
reminds
silly.
me of when I say sabotage, and it's guys like sabotage
Yeah.
because that's how Shatner says it. And
Belly buttons?
Herc
Belly
130
buttons
says,
where?
I just
Oh,
want to say hello.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Herc 130. And let's get on with this episode.
Yes, please.
Ugh, never saw that woman before tonight. So Kirk's like, I'm innocent. I didn't know. I was just saving a lady who was in trouble. And so
He's being quite gallant.
yeah,
Chivalry is not dead.
That's all. Yeah, in the future,
Yeah.
chivalry exists.
That's right. And it's Kirk. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's why we love him.
That's right.
Oh, my slides aren't going. Let's make them go.
Uh-oh.
Genesis 2, she had 2 of them. Yes, 2 belly buttons. I was reading in the library. Oh, you know what? I didn't actually get a screen cap of the crazy face he makes. But I did get a screen cap of the crazy face she makes.
He's a witch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this prosecutor guy, he's actually from the same time period as Kirk, and he's going back in time to avoid having to die from the Nova. So he's going to be able to live out his full lifetime that he would have lived in the present. But at the same time, as soon as the Nova goes off, everybody's dead. And so, but this was just a way so that they can continue their lives. And of course, none of them knew anything about how to travel into space.
They'll burn you.
If you're just tuning in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what she says. Because Kirk is apparently a witch because he speaks to the spirits.
Yeah.
He can speak to the people.
He called one Bones. And
one
Jill,
Bones,
Jill, why is McCoy called Bones?
Bones.
Yeah. What were the surgeons called during the Civil War? What was their slang name? Sawbones.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, see, it does make sense that it's something like that.
Yeah, I remember my earth science teacher, Mr. Troger. He was a big Star Trek fan, and he just goes, "Why bones?" And so I had to explain it to him. It to my teacher. It's like, well, it's from Sawbones, from the Civil War,
A Classic Comics knew the answer too. And
yeah, good. All right, Classic Comics for the win.
Yeah, he gets the gold star today.
Yeah.
Vertebrae 5, Kapla.
Kapla, Vertebrae 5.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah.
Congrats on 1,000 subs. Thank you. Prosecutor was a Q. No, he was a member of this planet, and
he
all
was
the people on the planet had to
a Sarpedian, I guess is how you would say it.
Yeah. And
but why did he want to go back to this period?
I don't know. It's just this is the weird episode. So this planet is the sun is about to go supernova, and everybody's like, okay, let's build this time portal, and we'll all pick our own different time period to go back to. You go here, you go there, and everybody's just gonna go wherever they want. and the prosecutor ended up here where Kirk ended up.
Yeah. Now, what time period would you like to escape to? Jill and Pop.
I like where I am now.
Yeah. How about the surf scene in California?
Well, life and time is as far as if I had a choice of going back. The only thing I hesitate about is the medical, because obviously I don't want to go back to where they use leeches and barbers or doctors and things like that. But I would have given anything to go back to the 1800s and meet P.T. Barnum and see a Barnum circus.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a real one. That would be incredible.
And
but
Buffalo Bill Cody.
Certain social things and stuff make it to where I already lived in the 90s. I lived through a pretty good time.
Can you go back one slide?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. let's just
That's
leave
the
it there for
thumbnail.
a few minutes. No, that's all right.
No, I
Yes,
didn't mean.
I
I
like
didn't mean to move it.
I like Zarabeth. I'm like, well, my oldest niece's name is Sarah Elizabeth. So Sarah Beth. But let's make it futuristic. Let's make it one word and put a Z where an S should be. There, science fiction.
Yeah, instead of Sarah Beth, yeah, of course. The Reluctant Dragon says I'd go back to the late 60s so I could see Cream in concert. Ooh.
There you go. Cool.
Then Sean Carter
The
go back
60s, man. Oh,
and see how the pyramids were built.
yeah, Sean Carter. They were built by space aliens.
Oh, man.
Another theory is they were built by giants.
Giants.
Yep.
Well, but the oxygen in the atmosphere, I don't know. That seems strange. No, that's a really good question. I like central air conditioning and I like plumbing. I have an issue going back in time.
You got that right. Yeah, let's all stay right here.
But I do enjoy history.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess Mikey Sue's 4 also had a comment about Sawbones. I missed that one.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Mikey. Oh, that's the problem with missing comments. I don't mean to miss them. Oh, you found it. Thank you so much, Scotty. I didn't. Oh, you returned just in time because I couldn't find this chat. Could you please read it for us?
Absolutely. Early American Civil War sawbones were known as doctors, both North and South, who amputated limbs without any anesthetic to save their lives and put them back on the battlefields. Many died on the table. Absolutely. It's a terrifying thing. That's why I don't like movies about the Civil War, because you eventually get to a hospital tent and people are sawing off feet, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's I agree.
And your only anesthetic is usually some kind of liquor.
Yeah, that's about it. Liquor.
Yeah, that's what I meant about going back in time. Is you have to be careful because you're taking back when they had diseases and primitive medical science and all that stuff. So I would be hesitant.
I would go back in time, and I would bring all kinds of neat things like supplements and.
How about a doctor? Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But Bone Racklet, when you bring current technology back to time, it reverts to its original.
Oh no, that's right. It won't work. Jill's right. It won't work.
Yeah, take an MRI machine back there and see if you can get it to work.
The time travel rules in this episode are so goofy.
Yeah. Now remember, 3 hours and 13 minutes.
Right. We have a ticking clock.
And it's like, gosh, Bones sure have recovered quick from that frostbite.
And so Zarabeth tells Spock, you only you can't go back. You're gonna die if you leave. And Spock's like, okay, I guess I'll just give up now.
And I was wondering about that. I know they're not going to show it, but it's once Bones, regained his senses, did he self-medicate? Because he must have had a kit. Because Spock mentioned when they first got there that he didn't want to give him drugs or anything. So.
Well, he must have eventually used it because Bones says that Spock was practicing without a license or words to that effect, that kind of thing.
Right. And he says, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give him stuff.
Yeah, at that time, yeah. But he must have done something, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's just being facetious.
He just healed all by himself. No, I think it makes sense.
Even the frostbite.
Yeah, no, it would make total sense that he treated himself somehow.
Yeah, I just don't like the 3 hours. It's like, how about 72 hours? It's like
same problem we had for Requiem for Methuselah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in terms of how long it takes Kirk to fall in love, which apparently is the drop of a hat, and the same thing goes for Spock here.
Yep.
Yeah, except that Spock is supposed to be in control of his emotions, so I guess he doesn't have the control because suddenly he's of a time period where Vulcans didn't have control over their emotions. But why?
I'm in control of my emotions.
Stupid.
Control of my emotions.
But he wasn't prepared.
What's that from, Jill?
Previous Star Trek episode.
The Naked Time. The Naked Time.
Mm-hmm.
Control of.
And then he does a series of math equations. Like I can do math still. It's an incredible scene.
We can thank Nimoy for that.
Mm-hmm. And he goes into a room all by himself. He should have gotten
and he had the director do that swing around with the camera, and they got it done just in the nick of time. It's like, oh, we don't want to do overruns. We don't want overtime.
Mm-hmm. And so
our cell structure and brain patterns. Prepare. I was not prepared.
Neither was Spock. Nobody was prepared. And
yet then you must go back at once.
Okay, so if the conceit is that Spock reverts to his caveman era because he wasn't prepared properly, then why don't Kirk and McCoy, or unless humans haven't changed or something? I don't know.
Let's not overthink it, Jill.
But also, the Vulcans are a much older race of species.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5,000 years in the past from the 23rd century would still, that would be some Riker in Genesis level de-evolution.
Oh, yeah, and I'm glad that Spock does not turn into a monkey or. So at least there's that.
Yes.
Now we're just getting silly.
Well,
no.
We have now. Come on, Jill. We have a cave woman. She's beautiful. Just look at her hair. No.
She is.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Interaction.
or it's like it's Clairol.
I don't like.
No, Genesis was ridiculous. So this episode is better than Genesis from Next Generation. I accidentally started over my slides. Where was I?
Uh-oh.
There we are.
There.
I'm close to it. Oh, where was I? Did I miss that scene?
I think we're almost there.
All right. Okay, so you're stubborn, thick-headed Vulcan, and so McCoy does this all the time. He says things like this to Spock all the time, but this time, you listen to me, you pointed-eared Vulcan, and Spock says, "I don't like that. I don't think I ever did, and now I'm sure." And so he does this with anger, which I did not express in my voice because I don't usually read Spock like that.
Yeah, but it's such good acting. No, it's a great scene.
Yeah, it was. There it is. And there you go. And oh, hey, I'd go back to the late 60s. So I can see Cream. I read that one. Franco Walker says, "Oh, hey, Matt G's here.
Hey, Matt G.
These lights keep blinking out of sequence. Get them to blink in sequence."
Shh. Nice little Airplane 2 drop.
Lemon Pie. Hello, Lemon Pie.
Hello, Lemon Pie. Good to see you.
Hi, Lemon Pie.
Mikey's a bit like you, Pop. He wants to go back after the polio vaccine was eradicated. Yes, it would be nice to not get polio. Mariette still around at 84 years old. That's good to hear.
Good for her.
Yep.
She was a very beautiful woman and a very soothing voice.
Yeah, she's just a sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Or I said that in the past tense. She is a sweetie. Excuse me.
Nimoy basically created the Vulcan philosophy and culture. Yes, with DC Fontana together, they did create the Vulcans.
And Theodore Sturgeon.
And Theodore Sturgeon.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Which I still do. That's why I still do not like any of the other actors who plays Spock. They're just. I don't know. Leonard Nimoy was Spock and always will be Spock, and I don't like any replacements of the character.
Yes, agreed.
Same here, because the rest are posers.
Except for the actors that played Spock as children, so you had to get other actors for those.
Right. Well, those I like, but I'm talking about like the guy in the J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, no, I don't like those either. No. Those aren't Spock.
No, they're not.
Because in the J.J. Abrams one, they have him stalking his girlfriend, and in the new Trek one, they have him with the beard and
fist fighting. Terrible.
Mikey Sue's 4. Yeah. Odd to see that Spock and McCoy both fall in love with the same cave woman. What's so odd about it? I
don't see any.
I already I fall for her all the time. With her. No, he's charmed by her. He's definitely charmed by her, but he does not. Yeah, you're right. He does not fall in love with her. He's charmed.
No, he wants to get the hell out of there.
That's right. He goes. We got to find the captain. We got to find the captain.
Lying. She's lying. She's trying to keep us here, and he wants to go home. Yeah.
He warned. McCoy does warn that this lady would kill. And so he's like, why are you listening to her?
Yeah.
She'll do whatever she can to not be alone anymore. Sean Carter says, actually, I think I'd go back to 1973 as an 18-year-old, get into computer programming and try to woo Sarah Rush, who played the launch when ready girl in the original Battlestar Galactica. Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of information there, Sean.
Well, Sean, I'm totally with you on that. Maybe not specifically 1973 and maybe not specifically Sarah Rush, but thing is you can't go back as an 18-year-old. You got to go as now. And so I would probably just go back 46 years because there's no supernova right now. And then I would just live the second half of my life in the same time period that I lived the first half.
Yeah, exactly. That would I'd be totally fine going back to the 90s and just.
I want to regenerate like Doctor Who and then go back to the 1955, and so I can get all these neat science fiction collectibles.
Well, yeah, and so I'm glad that Sean Carter has a game plan. That's pretty specific.
Yeah, that's a good game plan. It's like, yeah, see, I'd go back and I'd get all the Forbidden Planet stuff that came out, and then all the stuff from the 60s, all the spy toys, and collect all those. Yeah, I'm a hopeless nerd. Yeah, Jill, 17 minutes till the sun blows up.
Oh, yeah, we better get out of here. Yeah, you had better come back right away. We can't. Spock and McCoy are missing.
Yeah.
I knew there was trouble. I got a landing party standing by. Send a landing party. We want to see the rest of the bridge crew.
Yeah.
But we don't get to see them. Because Kirk says no. And Kirk finally finds the brick wall, the area, the portal. That's it. And he tries to ask help from Atos, but Atos is like, what are you doing? You gotta get back. You gotta go. The thing's gonna explode now. The sun is gonna explode.
I enjoyed the advanced technology. We bring out just the sonic screwdriver, give him a jolt, and then put him on a dolly and push him through the door.
But Scotty, that cart that he's trying to push, that goes back in time, so it's going to be like witchcraft with the cart flying around. It's like,
yeah, it would be of a more advanced materials.
Yeah, it's going to change history.
Will it suddenly grow wheels because it's going to revert back to to his state, and then it just turns into a
Yeah,
wagon.
it just won't work. It'll just reduce to its basic material.
And oh no, Spock, you're not supposed to enjoy animal flesh. He calls it animal flesh.
Have some ribs.
But he's going to eat it because he is reverted for some reason. Because of the machine,
for reasons.
for reasons.
Because he hasn't been prepared by the Atavachron. You
Yes.
keep saying for reasons, even though
No,
it's
I
very
know.
clearly
that.
spoken.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
that.
We're being silly. It's the Atavachron. That's exactly what. Yep.
I know, but it's just so.
And
it's not
You just don't buy it.
Maybe
I don't
that,
really buy it.
and
maybe that
McCoy.
explains why they never call. Maybe that explains why they have to go through. Be prepared because let's say Spock had been prepared to the Atavachron. Then when he went back in time to where Murray Hartley is, he wouldn't reverted back to his old self.
But then, unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to
He wouldn't
return
be
to
able
his
to go
own
back,
time
yeah.
either. Yeah.
He still would not be able to return, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying that maybe that's why he's reverting, is because he wasn't prepared.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And Bones isn't affected because he's human, and to be human is best. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's one way to put it, but yeah.
Well, he would have been like a human 5,000 years ago, I guess.
It's like because Bones is Bones, doggone it. He ain't gonna change.
So that's where they debated whether it was a full mouth kiss or whatever.
And
open mouth.
so
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, here we go, Scotty.
I love this thing.
well, I guess what it is just that we just weren't different 5,000 years ago. That's the only answer.
I guess we were. No, we're the same.
We were exactly the same.
Better food back then.
Yeah.
Well, they've the wheat and other grain that they find in in the Egyptian tombs. They've analyzed them, and there's enzymes they can't identify from that ancient grain.
Well, there was more variety. There was more
Yeah.
variety of different species because now everything is it's all
Homogenized.
homogenized.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Spock.
Spock.
Yeah.
Mike
Truth
DC
is, you
Sport
don't
said,
want to go back.
I'd actually go back to Canada when Suzanne was in her early 20s and save her from any bad men.
Ah,
really
that's sweet. That's sweet, Mikey. Chivalry.
There you go. Larry says, I started learning BASIC in 1972. Bones make mint juleps.
Yes, he can make mint
That's
juleps.
right. That would have been so cool if he started speaking in his childhood accent. That would have made sense. I would have loved it.
I wonder if Larry remembers the sitcom Hello, Larry, starring McLean Stevenson.
Oh, I guess that's all. Oh, I was making screenshots.
Hi, Larry. Did in last one season.
Yep, that's one. I think that's the first thing he was in after he left MASH.
Yes, when he was fired from MASH.
No, he left.
Well, it was a combination of both, but his ego was, he thought he was ready to go on his own. He did the old Tasha Yar routine. I want my own show.
Not exactly. He admitted, because I remember reading in TV Guide or some magazine where he admitted after he left MASH, he said, I know I'm not going to find anything as good as MASH. But I suspect, I don't know if this is fact, but I suspect that McLean Stevenson left for the same reason Wayne Rogers left, because it was becoming the Alan Alda show and they couldn't take it. But I don't know.
Possible.
It could be a combination
of
all this.
I had heard that his ego was part of it, though. He thought he could do better in his own show. And all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah. Actors' egos. Oh dear.
Where are we in the dialogue? if we're going to get the portal, okay, so Kirk is looking for Spock and McCoy, so they got to find the right disc to find which snowy landscape they're supposed to look at, which ice age.
There it is. Hey, Eric's is there. Can't
They
be that
found it.
lonely.
Yeah, you got two Erics right in there. And so she could marry Eric's, and see, this episode isn't that tragic after all. If you're just listening and not watching, I use Eric's watermarks to prevent having issues with the copyright claims. And so she'll die if she goes back, so they have one last kiss, I guess, and stuff. I don't know what they're doing. Let's see. Vulcan won't exist for another... The Vulcan you knew won't exist for another 5,000 years. And Spock does lament, I've lost myself. I do not know who I am. Can we go back? And so this is what the book says. The 365 book says, when Spock and McCoy are tossed 5,000 years into the past, Spock displays passionate emotions and violent mood swings. The two men eventually come to the conclusion that the Vulcan is reverting to a warlike barbarian, just like his ancestors of that early era. But what of McCoy? He's in the same situation, yet he doesn't seem to be reverting at all. He's still the same grouchy humanitarian that Star Trek's viewers had grown to know and love. Perhaps it's because humans, as opposed to Vulcans, have pretty much always been barbarians. At least that's how Kirk explains his behavior in A Taste of Armageddon. Oh, they've had a few achievements scattered here and there between wars and more personal acts of violence. They built great monuments, often using slave labor, domesticated wild horses, which they used to conquer their neighbors, developed agriculture, and plundered the food stocks of other nations. In other words, it was pretty much business as usual for McCoy, which may be why there was such a big contrast between him and his favorite Vulcan, whose culture changed far more drastically over the millennia. So that's what 365 book has to say about why the humans don't change, and that's good. Unless it's because they went through together. Okay, so now here's another rule. As if all the rules so far, if they're not enough, if you went in together, you got to come out together. And so that's what Spock and McCoy have to do. They've got to abandon Zarabeth to an icy loneliness forever until she dies lonely and alone. I guess at least she has something to eat and somewhere to sleep. But is it really living?
Well, and what a horrible situation that would be after however long Zarabeth was in the past, to be visited by people and then to have to deal with the renewed loneliness. At least you'd gotten used to it the first time you were deposited there, but now it's like, oh,
it's gonna sting a little harder for a while.
Yeah, I feel bad for Zarabeth.
Me too. So go to maximum warp as soon as we're there. Makes sense. And here goes the sun. It just goes supernova. And there's the supernova effect remaster.
Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that closing.
Yeah, but the Enterprise really looks CGI there. I mean, it's too bad it's 720p. I prefer the original model. I don't look kind of cartoonish there. Even though I like the effect overall, but the Enterprise in the foreground just seemed very cartoonish.
And that's one of the things that's dated the most from the remasters is look at the Enterprise. It'd be cool to go back and fix that, but that would be a lot of work and time.
Yeah.
Well, when we all take over the franchise, we'll do that, Jill. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, I agree totally. It's too cartoony, and it was a rush. They were on a tight budget, and it kind of rushed, and they should have done just the opposite. They should have lavished money on it to get it ready for high def and took extra time. But oh well.
Well, speaking of extra time, we've got a lot of extra time today. We're already ready to review this episode. Scotty R37, what do you rate this episode today?
I
Our yesterdays.
I gave it a B in the poll. Don't forget to vote in the poll. But I gave it a B. I find it a creepy episode. It's just with everybody being separated and trapped, and then how Spock responds to being more emotional based on the time period. The wailing of the wench being, he's a witch. It was very creepy as a kid. And watching it now, I kind of, it's simple, it's straightforward, and a little magic and goofy, but I still really enjoy it. Like, it's not an A, but it's definitely not as bad as I remember it. And yeah, I think it is a good idea, Pop, to check this one out again with the original special effects. And thank heavens for my Blu-rays, so I can see that. But I liked the explosion. I liked the actors in this. I thought that Mariette Hartley was charming. I thought that Kermit was great as the prosecutor, Mr. Atoz, absolutely wonderful. But all in all, I think it's a solid episode, and not necessarily worthy of scorn if people do find it to be one of the stinkers. I know that there are people here who think it's top 5 season 3. So that swells my heart. It's fantastic that I got a chance to revisit this, and it's much better than I remember.
All right, well done. And Stone Rocket, what do you rate this one?
I gave this one an A, and always enjoyed this episode. But despite its problems and contrivances, I find it enthralling, and I enjoyed all the performances. I still like revisiting this episode, and again, like I said before, it's in my top 10 favorites from the 3rd season, and it's in the number 2 spot. And number 1, of course, was the Enterprise incident for me. But all our yesterdays, not to be confused with Tomorrow is Yesterday or Return to Tomorrow. All our yesterdays is a solid A for me, despite its problems with the script. But I just go with the flow, and the performances and the production design just carry me away. And yeah, I still enjoy it.
Nice. How about you, Pop Culture Curator?
I give it a solid B+. I enjoyed it. Great casting.
Cool.
As I mentioned earlier, I watched when I watched it this morning. I was like, wow, I really liked this better than I did when I was younger. I think what I thought was impacting me more than years ago was the tragedy of the people and the civilization that all would decide to go back and live in the past rather than escape the planet. And I really enjoyed the performance by Ian Wolfe as Mr. Atoz. And the set design, like once he also said, even though we don't yet, it's sad we don't see the crew of the Enterprise. The set design I thought was really, really nice, and the casting of the extras well, they weren't extras, but the people from the various times in the past that they visited, I thought the casting was really well done, and it was an exceptional 3rd season episode. I definitely one of my top favorites of season 3, and I'm glad that Star Trek, even though they knew that it was almost over, they didn't give up completely. And I think that's a testament to the quality of the show. It could have easily been much worse, and it wasn't. But and I'm also getting sentimental because it's second to the last episode. But B plus, I loved it, and thank you for having me here, Jill.
Yeah, well, that was well said. Very beautiful review, pop culture curator, and that is something to remember. That the production value, the costumes and things and designs, they're still there. It still looks the way it should look. It didn't go. We say things about season 3, but it didn't go completely off the rails. It's still Star Trek, and it's
Yep.
great stuff. And this is definitely one of the better episodes of season 3, and definitely an enjoyable time. For me though, some of the dialogue is unnecessary, so I don't need all of it in order to understand the episode. But it's still entertaining. And except for Spock, the other two, they're mostly in character, and of course they have their reasoning for it. The Atavachron is supposed to change your cellular structure to adjust to the time you enter, but what does that mean precisely? They don't really tell you. So if you're not adjusted, apparently you revert back to whatever you were from that time. But isn't that what the Tabacron is supposed to do, is to change your structure to fit with the time? And so that's what I mean when the whole thing with the Tabacron is it's not explained well, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But we have our Spock. We're supposed to believe that he reverted to a Vulcan caveman, and so we get our romance and everything. And I don't know. I don't think they had to put all these contrivances of on top of the time travel is complicated enough. But the story has a lot of heart, so I give it a C+. It has its heart in the right place, and it's entertaining. And at the same time, though, the writing, it's simple. I think Patty said it was simple, and I agree. And it would be great. I want to cut this down to 20 minutes and animate it still. I think that would make it awesome.
I guess since Jim isn't here to give it an A, I gave it an A, I guess.
Yeah, you gave it an A. Pop Culture Curator almost gave it an A. He gave it a B+, and Scotty gave it a B. But me, I'm a little rough. Many others. Okay, so I don't know if it would have been interesting if we could see I wanted one of the people from the Nova to come back through to see what happens, this aging thing you're talking about. Like, maybe not Zarabeth. I don't want to see her die, but maybe the prosecutor or something, so we could see.
Oh no!
That for sure. This is the thing, because the reality of the situation. Because it just doesn't feel. It's just so strange.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. That's pretty
I enjoyed
dark.
it.
That's pretty dark, Jill.
It is pretty dark. Well, the whole episode's dark.
Yeah, this would have been. Jill says this would have been better if we saw someone go through the portal and die.
I just didn't believe it.
Okay.
Because what if it was true that that they were just lying about it, that you can't go back, and they just wanted to make sure people stayed in the past so that they wouldn't die with the Nova, and they didn't want people to come back through.
Yeah, it's all Zorkon's fault.
Why would you, if you can't come back anyway, why isn't it a one-way door? Why isn't it? Like, if you're not supposed to come back anyhow, what's the whole point of having a two-way door?
So Kirk and Spock and McCoy can come back.
Okay. Yes. Correct. That's a good answer. But I did enjoy it. It's not bad.
It is getting into headcanon levels where it's like, well, how did they discover their ability to make a portal into the past? Someone would have had to go and investigate the first time and then come back and notice their physiological changes as they went back into the deep past and be like, this isn't right. I'm going back to the thing. And then they do the medical scans and try and figure out, because they're obviously highly advanced. They just decided to travel time instead of space. So there would have to be a process to discover your ability to travel through time. And that's probably why they have a two-way door. Mm-hmm. Does that hold water?
That works for me.
Sweet. Just want to give a shout out to Stark of Iron. Tony's here in the chat, and
Oh,
also
so a lot of scientists had to die in order to figure out how to time travel. Then
same as space travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
So
Carter in
that's
the
what you're
chat
saying.
for $5 super chat.
Thank you so much, Sean Carter. Sean Carter says, A for me, a great story without much of a B plot, and it spawned a great book, Yesterday's Sun. Oh yeah, and
that's
congrats,
interesting.
Jill, on 1,000.
I wanted to. It's funny that Sean mentioned that. That's what I wanted to read from the Cushman book.
Dude, this is the perfect time for it.
It says the pocketbook original novel, or excuse me, the pocketbook original novels, Yesterday's Sun and Time for Yesterday, both by A.C. Crispin, are sequels to this episode. They feature a child of Spock and Zarabeth named Czar. Hartley said, I didn't even know there was a book out called Son of Zarabeth. Well, she almost got it right. You know, it was the least painful birth I've ever been through. So
Wow.
it doesn't say much about it, but it just, she had a child courtesy of Spock.
No way, that's amazing.
Named Czar. That's all it says about it.
I haven't. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Now Spock's got a son. But it's beta canon. It's not actual canon or anything.
Yes.
But
someone tell Sabic.
Oh dear.
All right. Everybody says it's all about Captain Kirk womanizing, but nobody's paying attention to Spock. He's more unassuming, but it still happens.
It is funny that they ramped up the romances for this, because we get one with Natiri or is it Natira? Anyway, the lady from The World Is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky from McCoy, and then we get Spock twice because he's sort of taken with Cloudminder's lady. Oh,
hey,
this is cool.
Jill found him.
Yeah, here's the books. There are two of them.
Yep.
One of them is the one that Sean mentioned yesterday.
I said both titles.
And the other is the Yesterday Saga.
And look at his son there. It looks like Conan.
Oh my God, this is his son.
I'm assuming that's who it is, but maybe not. I don't know.
Find out.
His son's definitely on the first cover there.
Oh what did Spock leave on Sarpedian? Oh goodness. That's great. There are only a few new effect shots for this one. So we've got much realer, but real enough. Let's see. Oh, and that one. Oh, they didn't do the side by side. Oh, they didn't finish this website.
Or maybe just, I don't know, reload. Oh, it's a video that's edited, so who knows?
No, they usually put the original next to the remaster, but that didn't happen this time, and I didn't double check. But at least we got a picture of the books. That was cool.
That is cool.
And also, thank you to Matt G for the $1 super chat. Let's play a video for you for that one.
We should do a couple videos. Everyone's throwing in the coins in the fountain.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What is this one? Oh.
Except what is happening between us.
There we go again.
Oh boy.
Ramping up that romance.
Yeah. See, Spock had way more action than you realize when you watch all the episodes.
Yeah, Scotty, who do we thank for all that ramped up romance in the third season?
Is that going to be a Freddie Freiberger?
You got it.
Makes sense.
To get that female audience to watch the show,
But I really love Spock without him.
That's
getting
right.
The ladies.
That's right.
Oh well, that's fine.
Jill, if you just want to take a quick glance in the private chat.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so you've got to get going. Hey, well, at least we got to finish the complete review, and I'm glad you were here.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much for reviewing this episode. I can't wait for next week. Next week's going to be a longer show, and so that'll
That'll
be a
be
lot of fun
super.
too.
That'll be super fun. I'm looking forward to that. It is bittersweet, but it's not over yet. And again, this has been such a great opportunity to go through in production order, something that I had never done before. So it rules. And even though I do have like the Blu-ray remasters and what have you, I hadn't seen all of these episodes with the upgraded or the newer special effects remastered. You can upgrade it or not. It's up to you. Your mileage may vary. But no, this is such a fun time, and I'm glad we got to do it. And it's with you and Pop Culture Curator. This is the fantastic second Star Trek series that I've gone through with you guys, and so it's really fun and hanging out with the chat and meeting Stone Racket. This is super fun. So thank you again, and I will see you in the future. Oh wait, I was giving crap because I never promote the stuff that I do. On Thursday, going to be talking to Ben over at Cinema Gulp. He's been started up a new live stream series and doing Thirsty Thursdays. Apparently there's a special guest on Thursday, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I believe it's going to, after that happens, Kat and Steve and myself will be talking about Event Horizon. And luckily I have all my homework done because you and I got to talk about that before, Jill. So we're reviewing it with a new crew of cats. So that'll be a blast.
Meow.
Yeah. So thanks again, and I will talk to you guys in the future. Thanks.
See you
Thanks,
soon,
chat.
Scotty. It was fun
See you
today.
soon, sir.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing better, man.
Thank you.
Oh, me too.
We'll see you later, Scotty. Keep on trekking.
Live long and prosper.
Yes.
Thank you. Me too. Peace and long life. And definitely subscribe to Cinema Gulp. Cinema Gulp is a really great channel. He really appreciates movies, and he has an interesting take on it because he's a bit of a filmmaker himself. So check him out. Take care, Scotty. R37 says Franco. Hope you're doing better, Pop, says Daniel.
Thank you. Yes, I am. I am doing better. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm so glad. I think we were. I know I was worried. I'm sure other people were too.
The hospitals are not fun.
No, they're not. But we had. I contacted my two older siblings, and you had two churches with a prayer chain going for you, Pop.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
That is. Hello to Stark of Iron. Mikey
Hello,
Tony says, Miss Jill, we came up with a cool theory. If the true TOS series continued after 3 seasons, the animated series would be season 4, and Star Trek Continues technically would be filmed as seasons 5. Even Gene's Family. I usually consider that animated series as seasons 4 and 5, but making it season 5 Star Trek Continues, that's new to me. Thank you, Mikey, for that theory. Mm-hmm. And Tony says, congrats, Jill. I'll sing Star Trek tonight on my matinee show. Yeah, I know, right? I only had to make it up to the 60 mark, the 860 to get the song. But I got considerably higher than that. I have no clue why the algorithm likes my channel this past week. I don't know what happened. Franco Walker says, Bones should have reverted too, but who wants to see him picking fleas out of his hair and crapping in the corner of the cave? Well, yeah, 5,000 years ago though, we were still human, so I guess that's the reasoning for that. It's not like it went back 5 million years. Then something would have been different. Mikey loves the firm Star Trek, and yeah, it's basically a Star Trek anthem. I love that too. I love the animation.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I know. Stone Racket doesn't like it, but that's okay. We all have.
But it's going through my head now. Doggone it. Klingons off the starboard bow. Starboard.
Scrape them off, Jim.
What? Who dares interrupt my coronation? What? What's he referring to?
Who dares interrupt my coronation?
Huh.
Coronation. Looks more like he had comedy. Looks more like.
What are they talking
I
about?
don't know. I don't know. I just like to read the chat.
Yes.
Franco Walker says, please subscribe, share, hit the like, and select live chat. So I hope you guys enjoyed our review of all our yesterdays. And hey, I almost forgot. We got to share the chat's review, because there's a poll.
Yeah, the poll.
There's a poll here. And we've got to share the poll because our audience has also reviewed this episode and has given it the score that they believe all our yesterdays deserves. And it's a very beautiful one.
I was lucky enough I was the first one to vote. That hasn't happened before.
Oh wow, really? Yeah, that's true.
There's no one. I was the only vote, and it was 100% A.
So it's actually A does win out. There's a 49% A, 40% B, 6% C, and only 4% give it a D to F.
Wait a minute. Who gave it a D or an F?
Well, I don't know. I don't see Gorilla anywhere around here.
Yeah. Where's that? Or maybe he did strike. I don't know.
Hey, Scotty. That's Tony. Of course, that was probably when he was still here, of course. And Maggie says, don't miss my important chat above. Did I get it? Was there another important chat besides?
Well, he's laughing it up, so I don't know.
If you did put in an important chat, post the text again and I'll read it. But if it was the super chat, I did read it. There was nothing in it. Those are the easiest ones to read. Stark of Iron's going to do a sub drive. Yeah, everybody go subscribe to Tony at Stark of Iron, which is his channel's name.
Oh, cool. Is it the Nautilus?
Oh, the submarine?
Yeah.
There's the sub drive.
I'm sorry. I'm taking things literally today.
No, it's a skydiver. Sean Carter says there's an audiobook version of Yesterday's Sun read by Leonard Nimoy. Okay, I know what I'm gonna listen to.
Well, what you
pick up
know?
my children. Yeah, I'm gonna go pick up my children soon, and so I'm gonna listen to that on Audible.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's just some times where you need to listen to Leonard Nimoy's voice, and I think this is a good day for some Spock. Zoc? Oh, his son. That'd be funny if his son was named Zoc.
Zoc? Oh, for the son's name?
Yes.
I like Larry's name. Zoc. We'll go with that.
Why not?
Instead of Czar, Zoc.
And Sean Carter wants to remind us of one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Is Spock was also with that girl in the Paradise.
This side of Paradise.
No. This side of Paradise. Yes, this side of Paradise. That's
right. Jill Ireland.
It's with Jill Ireland. Yeah, it's the one with the spores, and everyone gets kind of crazy, man.
And so, and that makes sense. That I don't question that Spock's in love in that one because the spores are affecting him.
Yeah, I'll never forget when we were watching that. We're like, wait a minute, that's not Spock. What's going on?
Yeah, the Paradise Syndrome. That's where.
That's one of my favorites.
That's a different episode.
Not in the top 10, but in the top 20 for sure.
Mm-hmm. All Our Yesterdays is an awesome episode. It has the time travel library in it, and that is how the people of the planet escaped the supernova. Yeah, and at the end of the episode, they will have lived complete and full and happy lives and not, be diminished by the supernova. Although it is still
Except for
sad because, oh
Zarabeth.
wait, except
Yeah.
for Zarabeth. Zarabeth dies alone in the
Well,
cold Siberia of this world.
well, to be even more specific, Zarabeth and the others that were exiled or whatever you want to call it, because there were some others that Zor Khan sent back as punishment. So there's still a few that are in the same predicament as Zarabeth.
Well, yeah, it just depends. We don't know how many.
Yeah, how many?
They were
Yeah,
imprisoned.
probably her whole
nearly.
family. They're all in desperate eras. Different eras.
Oh man. Well, even the family that had nothing to do with the conspiracy. That's pretty dark.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was the gist of what I got from the episode. But
yeah, I guess that makes sense. What? Already subbed. Mikey64 is already subbed to Cinema Gulp. Awesome. That's good. So is Franco. Good news. Daniel says, did you see that William Shatner saw the total solar eclipse yesterday and he commented on it on the news? No, actually, I would love to listen to that. Thank you, Daniel. I'll check it out. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Not as we know it. Not as we know it.
Jill, did you see that at all? I thought I saw that Texas was in the path of the eclipse. Did you see it?
I saw some of it. The day was completely overcast, and so every once in a while, the sun would barely peep out of the clouds, and we'd see kind of an obscured view of the eclipse. So we didn't even need our glasses, really. They didn't work because the sun wasn't really out.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. My kids have never seen a solar eclipse before, so just seeing a glimpse of it was cool for them.
Yeah, a friend of mine and his wife actually traveled down to your state, Jill, to see the eclipse.
Oh yeah, I hope it wasn't cloudy for them if they took a
Yeah,
big
I'm not sure what area Brian and Pam went to, but I'll have to talk to my younger brother because he was the one that sent a text to me about it. But speaking of texts, while we were doing this live stream just about 20 minutes ago, I got a text from my oldest nephew, and he said he just dropped off an Amazon package for me. That's what he does for a living. He's the Amazon delivery person.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
And
I was like, why
sometimes
does he have your packages?
well, it's basically this area is not usually on his route, so he must be subbing for somebody, I guess, because normally he's delivering packages everywhere but here in this area. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that is cool.
And do you guys want to know what it is?
Oh,
it's the steel book of the 1976 King Kong movie.
Oh,
on 4K.
Steelbook.
The Steelbook edition.
Oh, very nice. Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange.
You got it. And Odo.
Renee. Oh, wow.
Auberginois. Auberginois, I think is how you.
Yes, Auberginois.
The guy from Benson. Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You got
it. Deep Space Nine, also.
Deep Space Nine.
He was also on an episode of Stargate SG-1.
He was also on an episode of Night Gallery called Camera Obscura.
Yeah, wow. Well, cool. I'm glad you got some toys. Well, not a toy, but a Blu-ray or 4K Steelbook. I got there eventually. Mad G says, Spock, we'd better get to the tower. We have no tower, Captain. No tower? Just a bridge. Why the hell aren't I notified about these things?
Is this still an Airplane 2 thing? Or what? I'm not sure what this reference is.
I don't know either. I'm just reading what
Matt it's like, Matt, what the heck are you talking about?
So happy day after your birthday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was his birthday
Oh wait.
yesterday.
Oh wait. It was a Sunday. Oh wait, or was it Monday? I'm confused actually because it was the middle of the night when I heard it was his birthday.
No,
so I wasn't
his
sure which
birthday was
day.
yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think you're right. I think it was Sunday.
Mhm.
But
I was confused because I posted because I was streaming at midnight on Sunday.
Yeah, I was voice chatting with him in the wee hours of the morning, so I was like, yeah, I think it was Sunday.
Oh, neat. Mr. Mouse said, "Didn't Jill just hit 700 subs a few days ago? Looks like she had a spike, or I'm getting mixed up on things." Yeah, I know. I was ready to. I hit 700. I was like, okay, I'll be here for a few months, and maybe I'll get to 800 by, in a couple months, and then I'll get to 900.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Somewhere in the summer. but nope. For some reason, I just climbed out of nowhere. Don't apologize. I'll quote James Mason for you, Stone Racket. Oh, okay. Very nice of you. Yeah, I'm confused too, Mr. Miles. I'm just doing everything the same way I always do it. Edge of Time says frost warnings from the woman's farm. Daniel Hot Topic says William Shatner was commenting on how amazing the solar eclipse was and the wonders of the universe. He would know. He's Captain Kirk. Yeah,
that's right.
And he's
the
even
captain.
been to space. Putin's cat says Spock got a little babies all over the galaxy.
Spock babies. And they all have pointed ears.
Of course.
Oh, it's also with Doohan. And it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Yay.
Yay, it's free. It's free.
It's free.
Claude Parrish says that Star Trek audio was read by James Doohan and Leonard Nimoy. It's on YouTube. And that makes sense because James Doohan can do all sorts of voices. So it's like, yeah, they can take turns.
Aye, Jill. You can do voices.
Yeah. Well, I found that out when I reviewed the animated series with Pop Culture Curators. How many times he's whatever extra voice they need. He was
even on the original series he did extra versatile. Voices. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's true. I hope to see you guys at 7:30 Central. So that's when Spark of Iron is going to go live tonight. So if you wanna hang out over there he is. And thank you so much to Angry Yeti TV. Congratulations on 1,000. Keep it up. And I had a number of super chats today, so thank you guys for donating. I enjoy all the presents. And let's see what video should I play? I'm gonna play. I haven't played this video in a while. I forgot I brought it back.
No opportunity. There was no pause. He just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had a chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic.
It's kind of one of my favorite Captain Picard.
Is he talking about somebody that taught at the academy, or?
Yeah, he went to some kind of convention or something, and there was a speaker. There was a speaker giving a presentation.
Yeah, I've had. I was in college. I had some professors that would just drone on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I had one history professor that it was just impossible to take notes because he kept doubling back, and so in my notebook I had all these arrows and stuff. It's like, dude, make an outline for your lectures. It's like, and then follow it.
He didn't have a syllabus or anything.
Well, of course, syllabus. Yeah, those are handed out at the beginning of the term, but
he didn't organize things.
He just, for his lectures, there's like Oh, for crying out loud, dude. You're killing me here.
Well, yeah, normally a teacher will make some kind of their overhead projector notes or
Yeah.
a
I mean,
PowerPoint.
yeah, I had in 7th grade, there was a teacher I had for geography called Mr. Middleton, and he just drilled in making outlines, and so we all learned to take very organized notes, so it's like so
Wow.
yeah, I was ready for college definitely after going through the school system
Oh, wow.
here.
That's pretty good. That's actually, yeah, I didn't do that until college myself. So
Yeah, it's
that's
just
sweet.
in high school, my history teachers really prepared me for college because their exams were so much harder than the ones I had in college. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was just,
Okay,
once
that
I
just
got to
made you humble
college, it was
a little
like, well, this is a breeze. You know?
bit. Mr. Miles says, "Do you know the Star Trek Rhapsody song?" I'm not sure. I've heard the Klingon Rhapsody song. I'll have to go listen to it later to see if I know it. I think I'm sure I probably heard it at least once.
Star Trek Rhapsody song, and is it in Klingon?
That's what I'm wondering because I've heard the Klingon one, but this one I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
don't think I would like to hear Klingons sing.
It was actually pretty good. Fans did it. I think it's fun.
Okay.
Mikey Seuss 4 says, "Take care, everyone. I got to do my A-Team live stream. Live long and prosper all." And yes, peace and long life,
Cool.
Mikey. Enjoy
He's
your
doing
stream.
an A-Team live stream with Jay.
Oh, with Jay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Coolness. Mr. Miles says, "Someone turned this into a song too. The hypnotic talking clip." Yeah, it's pretty fun clip. I enjoy I like the episode too. It's one of the good ones. Angry Yeti TV says, "I resemble that remark." And Claude Parrish has got to run, people to annoy, and chicken parts. Have a better day. You too, Claude. Thank you so much for being here.
Claude will eat chicken parts and enjoy it.
He'll enjoy it. Enjoy the chicken flesh.
That sounds so gross, but that's what we're eating. Extra crispy? No.
And Calvin L. Weir says, "Hi all, just got home from work." Well, welcome home from work. And we're just heading to the end of our live stream here. I hope you enjoyed this review of all our yesterdays. And
work? So, what is work?
Work and work. What is work?
I'm retired, so it's like, yeah. I still have dreams about being at work, though. When are those going to stop?
Oh, well, I haven't been to school in a long time, and I still have dreams about going to school. I know I missed my final exam.
Yeah, those type of dreams stopped quite a while ago. But yeah, I still had college nightmares, I guess you'd call it. Like, oh no, I've got a final I forgot about, or I got to turn this paper in. What am I going to do? I'm not.
Or even worse, like I didn't attend the entire semester. I completely missed everything.
Yeah, there's all this class I kept skipping, and there's a final now. What am I going to do?
Yes. Oh, those dreams are fun. I still have them. And so I just ended the poll, and the ratings are still as I described them before, with 50 votes. 47 gave it an A, 41 a B.
Very nice turnout. Thank you for voting, everybody. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the stream.
Yes,
50 votes. That's the most I've seen, if I recall correctly.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's up there as one of the most, definitely. Oh, here we go. Franco Walker gave us the link in case you want to listen to Yesterday's Sun, recorded in 1988. Excuse me. And of course, starring Leonard Nimoy and James Doohan playing the voices. That's just super cool. I'm going to listen to that in a little bit. Bob the chicken is pecking away carelessly and unwittingly. Ooh. No, leave Bob alone. You can't name the food. No.
Oh, no.
Now I can't eat them. Calvin Weir says it's that 4-letter word no one likes.
Yeah.
Work.
I always tease my older brother. He hasn't retired yet. He talks about work, and I go, work? What is work? It's like, he's got to retire. He's like, he's older than I am. It's like, come on.
Well, he enjoys it if it's something that's meaningful.
Well, he's Jill, you'll like this. He's into computers. He's an IT guy. So
yeah, and IT jobs, they're kind of fun.
The thing is, he has so many projects on the side, and there's still he used to work for the school district years ago, and there's still people that call on him when they have computer troubles, and so he gets some extra bucks that way.
Well, it sounds like even if he does retire, he's still gonna be doing side jobs.
You bet. Yeah, he has plenty of irons in the fire, that's for sure.
I like that Brinkle Walker says, don't forget to leave a comment after the stream as it helps the channel grow. And oh boy, has that worked. I don't know what worked. But
I'm really bad about leaving comments. I don't do that very often at all for any channel.
Well, speaking of channels, Pop Culture Curator, I think you mentioned what you're going to do at the beginning of the live stream, but if you could tell us again for the people who are just getting here.
Tonight on my channel, we usually do sci-fi horror streams, but I didn't get a chance to prepare and put the poll up to see what people wanted to see tonight. So we will be doing a Rumblings from the Lab. We'll make up for the one that I missed on Saturday because I was indisposed. So tonight we'll do a Rumblings from the Lab, which is open topic, open mic. Everybody's invited. Everyone's invited on the panel. Bring up whatever topic you want, whatever interests you. It's always fun. We always come up with new ideas of things to cover in our future streams. Tomorrow night, I'll be back with my good friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts. We'll be doing 2 more episodes from season 3 of Gilligan's Island. Back with the Castaways once again. And then next Saturday, we're released from the lab. And then next Monday, we will be getting caught up with back to Lost in Space season 2.
Yep.
Yes, I'm
The
excited.
Golden Man.
The Golden Man. Oh
yeah. I watched that last night when I was.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had to cancel it.
I watched.
Jill, don't consider it that way. It's quite all right because I needed the night to recover. I didn't get home until late yesterday afternoon, and honestly, I needed that. So don't blame yourself. If anything, it was my fault that we couldn't make last night's stream.
Well, actually, I guess in that case, it was serendipity because I needed extra time, and so did you.
Yes, for 2 different reasons.
Mm-hmm. And
but we'll make up for that next Monday.
Yeah, we'll make up for it, and it's going to be a really good. It looks like I'm gonna enjoy it. Anytime they do artificial intelligence, it's going to be good. Penny, or maybe not. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's not good. I haven't watched it. The last 2 episodes have been interesting. I've enjoyed them on some level.
I think you'll enjoy it.
You, since you're focusing on artificial intelligence, I don't know, Jill. I don't think you're gonna like what happens to the robot.
Oh, darn. Okay. All right.
But
So
yeah,
Rex, I know you don't have a channel, but is there anything you want to share with everybody before we go?
Yeah, I don't have a channel, but I like hanging out with you, Jill, and also with you, Pop, talking about sci-fi and specifically Star Trek and Lost in Space at the moment. And I just want to thank you for having me here, Jill, and for having such a wonderful channel. And the same with you, Pop. I'm so happy that you're back, and that you're having a special edition of your rumblings tonight. I'll be there.
Thank you.
And
That's
yeah,
it. That'll be 6 p.m. Mountain Time, everybody, if you'd like to join us.
which is 8 o'clock Central Time.
And there's my phone ringing. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yep, it's nice, Jill, that we're both in the Central Time Zone.
Yeah. That way I can tell you times, and I'm not.
Yeah, you can tell me times. I go, yep, that's my time too.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I think today went really well. I enjoyed today's live stream.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a goofy episode, but it's so enjoyable.
It is.
And again, Stark says my cats sing to yours.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Of course, Harpo was here for part of your live stream here, and Chico, he's I don't know where Chico is. He's curled up sleeping somewhere.
Well, Chico likes TNG more than that.
Yes, he does. He and his favorite character is Worf. But Harpo, he loves Captain Kirk, and so he's here for almost every stream that you've had that I've been on the panel. Harpo has joined me at one point or another.
Nice.
So he's definitely a fan of the original series.
And so as for me, of course, we'll come back next Tuesday for our final episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah. One of the very best.
Turnabout Intruder.
Turnabout Intruder.
If you've ever wanted to see William Shatner act like a crazy lady, tune in next week.
Yeah.
but for now, I'll play my closing videos, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. See you soon.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
A bunch of people donated memberships, so that my membership video is way out of date. So I'm not going to play it, and I'm gonna update my membership video because it's a lot different now.
Yeah. Hey, could you replace Diana Mulder?
I can't. I haven't done that yet. I still have to do
And
that.
what's the other thing I asked to be replaced?
I don't remember.
I can't. Oh, yeah. Could you replace Stephen Collins? Because he's a creeper.
Oh, but I like what he says. But okay.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Don't listen to me. You do what you want. It's your channel. Don't listen to the cat.
See, but it's not Stephen Collins. It's Decker.
It's Decker. Yeah.
Will Decker never did anything wrong.
His best line: "Belay that order."
Belay that phaser order.
Yeah, phaser order and slow mo. Use photon torpedoes.
Oh, way. Anyway. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to get I completely spaced on getting the Turnabout Intruder trailer. So if you can talk about something, I don't know, what can you talk about? Do you know who Zorkon the Magnificent is?
No, I do not.
Caserta mentions it. I don't know what that is either.
Zorkon. I mean, Zorkon's the dictator from today's episode, but I don't know about the magnificent part.
Oh, okay. It was spelled differently, so I forgot all about that. But I gotta get this trailer for Turnabout Intruder for my closing video.
Yeah, I watched. I usually do on Sunday. I watch the episode of Lost in Space that's scheduled, and followed by Star Trek. So it's a double feature. So that's what I did.
Just like the old days, after when we get home from school.
Yeah. It was great because after our local channel got done showing Star Trek, they went with Lost in Space. It was pretty cool. and then another local channel a few years later picked up Star Trek. So it's pretty much been on for me from '66 until I was in college. So
It's never really been off the air when you think about it. It's still playing.
yeah, it's still playing, and you know, it was great because I'd get home from school at 3:30, just before 3:30, and in time to watch Gilligan's Island at 3:30, and then 4 o'clock was Star Trek time, Monday through Friday.
Perfect.
And it was like, it's awesome.
That is awesome. That is so great.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's in that way Star Trek endures. In that way Star
Yeah.
Trek lives in reruns.
I don't know if did I tell you guys that I had my earth science teacher over to watch Star Trek with me and my family one time.
think-
Well, that must have been interesting.
And the reason I did that is because he invited me and my fellow Star Trek buddy up to his house, and we watched War of the Worlds on a late night movie with my earth science teacher and his wife. And it was she made popcorn and treats for us and everything, and so we just watched that classic movie. So I thought, well, hey, why don't I invite Mr. Troger over to watch Star Trek, his favorite sci-fi show, and my friend that was up at our teacher's house to watch War of the Worlds. So the three of us got together over at my house.
Very cool. Very nice.
Watch Star Trek, and
was that when you were in college?
That was that's I was still in
high
junior high school.
wow.
And
times are different.
Yeah, I was in that's ninth grade, earth science teacher, big Star Trek fan. So yeah, that was
Very
pretty
neat.
cool. And I think the episode we watched, I think it was the Doomsday Machine, if I recall correctly.
Good
so
choice.
It was a really good second season episode.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's so
it is.
much amazing in Star
Yeah,
Trek.
it's just I just love that episode.
We were reviewing Star Trek, and it was just one great episode after another for so long, and we were spoiled. And because I was so spoiled, that's how I'm reviewing season 3.
Well, it's when Gene L. Kuhn left, I think a lot of the steam ran out of that show.
Mm-hmm. It did.
But yeah, he was just so instrumental in polishing that show and making it soar. I just think because he got
he did.
He refined a lot of stuff, and then his own original scripts are just superb.
Yeah,
Specifically,
inspired.
Arena and Devil in the Dark.
Devil in the Dark is my favorite episode, and it makes sense. And I love Dorothy Fontana also. And
Yes.
everybody.
Very much so. I'm so glad that she got the job as Gene Roddenberry's secretary when he was making the lieutenant, and then she eventually, was able to step in as a story editor.
Yeah,
it's like, if you can fix this script, we'll hire you as story editor. And so
Star Trek had the magic.
Oh yes.
So
it was incredible.
I normally don't mention bad Star Trek on these shows, but we're getting to the end, and there's some rumors that hopefully Secret Hideout is going to stop making Star Trek. So whoever makes it next, I hope that somebody takes a look at, really takes a look at real Star Trek and figures out how to bring us back to where we should be. And I don't know. I'll be watching it, and we'll see.
I hadn't heard that, but I hope it's true.
Yeah, I hope so too.
They're still in things are happening, but we don't know precisely what. In something with Skydance.
We've heard that Paramount is supposedly going to be going up for sale. Yes. I was reading an article the other day saying that they've now been classified as junk status.
Correct, and so somebody's going to snap it up because there's a lot of interesting properties that are worth buying.
Yeah, squandering. It's pathetic what they've done.
It is
really sad.
Mr. Miles says the IP should be public domain simply due to the cultural impact it had.
I'm kind of hoping that there's someone out there like an Elon Musk that will buy up, Paramount and whatnot, and then just, kick out all the bums. And
well, that's all of Secret Hideout. They all got out.
I didn't want to go into specifics.
They probably have to buy them out of their contracts. Which is
Right.
Sad.
There's a lot of weird things they got to do, but it's and kick them out of there and then get people that actually love original Star Trek.
Yes,
and
that would be amazing. With that hopeful note, I will see you all next time. Here's the preview to wait, which one is it?
Okay.
Turnabout Intruder.
Turnabout Intruder.
Bye everyone. Take care.
I'm questioning.
Yeah, bye.
Is this it? I hope this is it. Let's see.
Live long and
go ahead.
Live long and prosper, everyone.
Yes, peace and long life.
Yeah.
What does your telepathic mind tell you now?
I believe you.
That was quick.
That was fast. Yeah, that was a quick one.
Sorry about that.
What does your telepathic mind tell you now?
I believe you.
Agony will soon pass as it has for me. Spock, give it up.
I shall not withdraw a single charge that I have made, and I shall do everything in my power against you.
It is mutiny! Dr. McCoy, sorry, but I'm going to have to take you off the case.
On this ship, my medical authority is final. I won't allow it.
It's done.
Security guard!
Attention all personnel. First Officer Spock has been placed under arrest on the charge of mutiny.
Then, Doctor, that's the time we move against him. We'll have to take over the ship.
We're talking about mutiny, Scotty. That's enough. We know what was said.
Enough to convict you of conspiracy with mutineers. And you're so charged. The sentence, death. Execution will be immediate.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.